Man, I just saw somebody that has a they had a Winston Cup flag, and that's old. Winston Cup. All right, what's going on, sir? UGA, as we're getting ready to get some NASCAR racing. Let me share this out on my Reddit channel. Let's see. All right, I got the Need for Speed. Yes, so once the race starts, I'll get the running order up. I can't. There we go. All right. Rubbin is racing, right? Rubbin is racing. Rubbin's racing. Look, the electrician's here today. The electrician's here. The electrician is here today. All right, let's see. All right, he's good. All right. All right, man. Race about to start. What's up, Steve G? How you doing? Oh man, what's up? All right, high point 400. High point 400. All right. Get everything up and running here. See if they have the running order up yet. I don't think so. All right. What's up, Steve G and Sir UGA? Ooh, dang. Waiting for the race to start. Waiting for the race to start here. Let's see. Where's my video count? Something like that. You talking to me? You talking to me? I'm talking to you. Talking to you, Sir UGA. Talking to you. Yeah, we're not putting out there. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you can put that, yeah. All right, yeah, electrician's here. No screwdrivers today. No screwdrivers today. We got to go to the Hard Rock for that. They got to go to the Hard Rock for that, man. So where's the running order for I can put the on the screen? I guess I gotta wait. I guess I gotta wait till the race starts. Guess I gotta wait till the race starts. They're not gonna put the running order up until the race starts. Good morning. Hey, no Fireball, no Fire. I drank all the Fireball. I got beer. Good morning. Good morning. It's like 1:40 in the afternoon. So you're probably gonna hear a little noise a little bit, but that's all right. They're doing electrical work. Let's see, where is... Oh yeah, we got the famous words in racing. The High Point family. Let's see. All right. You ready for racing? You ready for rubbing and racing? I'm ready for rubbing and racing. I'm ready. Rubbin's racing. All right. Just ready for the race to start here, man. It's Harvick. Kevin Harvick's like gonna retire. Can't believe Kevin Harvick's gonna retire. Oh, here it is. I found it now. There it is. I found the running order. I found it. Let's see. There we go. All right, we got 36 drivers, man, on the 36 drivers racing today. 36 drivers racing today. Go Hamlin, top 5. What's up, Steve G? How you doing? Let's I'm ready. I'm ready for some racing, man. Let me see. Make sure I got the... Where's the yellow flag? All right. Yeah, we are going to be under yellow when it starts. Bubba goes from 10th to last. Man. Bubba Wallace. A lot of people hate Bubba Wallace. I'm kind of indifferent on him. Yeah. Talk about Days of Thunder. I think they're supposed to make a new Days of Thunder movie. Or a sequel. Now they're going to bring back Rowdy Burns and we'll do Russ Wheeler. Russ Wheeler. Nicole Kidman going to be in that? Is Nicole Kidman going to be in that this new Days of Thunder movie? So we're gonna have our new Days of Thunder movie. They're working on it. Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. Why are they gonna try to ruin something that was good back in the day? Why are they gonna ruin something? Alright, we got 36 drivers. Remember they used to have like 40 something? Used to be like 42 drivers. Alright, the cars are going off pit road here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Pocono, the tricky triangle. The tricky triangle, they call it. Alright. I'm ready for some racing. They need 50 drivers. Only about 50. That'd be kind of crowded on the track. That many cars. I remember the days you used to have in the 40s. every race used to be in the 40s. So Chase Elliott, man, Chase Elliott's trying to get into the chase. 50 drivers and widen the track by 25 feet. Holy cow! So Kyle Busch, where's he starting today? Where is Busch? I'm trying to look for him on the. Where's Busch? Oh, he's way down there, like 25th. He's back down like 25th. He's starting. So William Byron on the pole. Truex won the last race. The race on Monday he won. From New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Then you got Larson and Harvick and Bell. Logano, Reddick, Hamlin, Cindric, and Bubba Wallace. Starts in the top 10. That's Sir UGA's favorite driver is Bubba Wallace. He's got a Bubba Wallace bobblehead in his man cave. Man, so. Right to the lights still in the pace car. So we're under caution to start the race. Always under caution to start the race. The tricky triangle. This is a triangle track. Kind of a triangle, sort of. You don't think Bubba Wallace has had a screwdriver to drink? I don't know about that. All right, so let's see who's going to get a run to start the race. All right. Come on, let's get this race started. So, well, the lights are still. There's two pace cars. Why are there two pace cars on the track? There's two pace cars. There's Little E. Oh, Little E. Felt bad for Earnhardt, man. I felt bad for Earnhardt, and he lost his dad at a young age. I'm surprised Little Lee retired. When he did. He's not that old. I mean, so I don't care for LaJoie. He wrecked last week, so you don't like LaJoie? Man. Guess we got Byron and Truex, Larson, Harvick, Bell, Logano, Reddick, Hamlin, Cindric, and Wallace. That's your top 10. When you get outside that, and then when you start, who cares? Now we're going down pit road like a victory lap here. It's like a victory lap. They're going through the pit road here. Somebody uses the brakes too much. Oh man, you're going hard on people, man. Man, so I don't know what the deal was going through pit road there, but oh well, they did it. Toyota's qualified well. Let's see. Toyotas are what? 1, no 2, 7, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, you got the first on race day Ford, man. First on race day Ford. Yeah, I think we're getting a racing. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, why brake? Just hit the gas. The wall's gonna stop you anyway. Don't worry about that. The wall will stop you.
65. The final stage once again, 65 laps. Well, your fuel is around 40 laps. So you can pit before the end of the stage if you're close enough to the leader, get your service under green, then just stay out and kind of leapfrog everybody. That's what we're going to say. I'm going to call it a game of leapfrog all day. The question is, are you being leapt over at the end? Are you the guy being jumped over? Or are you the one doing the jumping? And to be honest, sometimes you never find out until the last 5 or 10 laps of a race.
And the other thing about that, your strategy can change based upon who's leading and what strategy they're on.
Well, listen, it's a game of chess. You're not racing yourself. You're racing 35 others. So it's going to be interesting to see how this 200-mile-an-hour game of chess turns out.
We've seen some interesting, not only starts, but restarts that have happened here at Pocono. We'll see how tame.
No, it's USA,
again, Byron
NBC.
and Truex Jr. are going to lead the field to the green. Let's go back
it's
to
on
the
NBC.
Jr.
Two of our championship hopefuls bringing the field
on the green
through the Geico restart zone. They tap Barber on the shoulder.
Let's go. Boogity, 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 boogity. As Darryl Waltrip used to say.
Just like that, they're off and running down into turn 1, 3 and 4 wide. William Byron, the pole setter, took the outside lane. Not a surprise, as the 4 of Kevin Harvick slides up a little bit, and that bright orange number 4 loses a few spots.
Got lost a little traction there in turn number 1 and
so
shot
William
him up
Byron
the
out in front.
racetrack. But everybody chasing after William Byron, Martin Truex Jr. 1 and 2 as they go down Long Pond straightaway into the tunnel turn. Another long straightaway here as Byron trying to separate himself, and they're starting to get a little more single file as they work their way through 3.
Off turn 4, off turn 3, actually. Here comes Byron. We got this race underway. Here comes the cars at speed.
Man, that's how fast they're going. They zoom on that track.
I'm a little jealous. I won't lie, I'm a little jealous. That sounds awesome.
When he says at speed, we're talking speeds of over 170 miles an hour. They're flying underneath him right there.
170.
High, be very careful. That's where he saw issues in practice, and he did scrub the wall just a little bit.
Right up against the wall, and that 54 was Ty Gibbs. As we see the 48 of Alex Bowman trying to get by him. Justin Haley in the 31. Right there as well. He was a part of a lot of the headlines this week coming into this race. Take another look at what happened with Ty Gibbs.
It's just too high in the middle of the corner. Once it changes that track from that dark black to that light gray, there's dirt, there's marbles, there's less grip. He did a really nice job of not making harder contact with the wall right there. You see the right side, there Randy did.
Man. Boom, 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 boom. William Byron out in front.
I know exactly what you're thinking. Man, what a perspective Junior is getting right now from the flag stand.
And you see how this track races right away, right? We talked about the 3 different corners. That's one thing, but they all lead to very long straightaways. So if you make a mistake, as you see right here, a big defense, I think that's Brad Keselowski, and that orange number 6, Corey LaJoie, and the white and green 7, and then the 34, I think it is, right behind him, Michael McDowell.
My personal record is 148.
He has to decide if he's going to let Michael go and kind of tuck in behind him. Because if he continues to battle on the outside, which he's trying to do, he can lose momentum to the cars behind him down the front stretch.
Loud. Man. It's loud.
Ty Gibbs getting out of line, trying to stop that draft. Now not let anyone get any kind of a push or pull from him, as we see Kyle Busch in the 8 right along the yellow line. They're riding along with Tree, number 3 of Austin Dillon.
No, this is great right here. All right, decision time. Are you following the 43? Well, you're definitely not following the 47 as Harrison Burton in that 21 fills the hole. So now if you're Austin Dillon, where are you going to go into the tunnel? Are you going to go to the top, go to the bottom? Watch how rough this is. Watch the back of this 43.
Come on.
Bang.
Come on,
That
Truex.
looks calm. That's anything but calm from behind the wheel.
They're going 165 miles an hour through there.
Yeah, we drove across that corner to leave the racetrack in the rental car yesterday, and you were shocked just how rough that track was.
Yeah, what's
Well,
really
Sean
interesting
pulled for
also is
Truex
how
today.
you're
I don't
seeing
know why.
multiple grooves. You
We'll
saw
pull
the
for
outside
Truex.
line, get some momentum, able to make that outside work. That's something we're going to watch all day long. This has been a multiple groove racetrack in every race so far this weekend. Let's see if that continues or if it even gets wider.
Chris Buescher on the inside, making the move now on Corey LaJoie in the 7.
That's down 5 spots.
There's LaJoie. There's
He had that very good start in the 12th position, but losing some
Steve's
positions
favorite
early in
driver,
this
LaJoie.
race.
Was
Hey, down they're trying to get away from each other right there, guys. You see that movement way down low on the straightaways? They're trying to avoid getting side draft from the other car. They've got to run. They want to continue that momentum. You get away from the car on the outside or the inside to keep the side draft from slowing you down.
Oh, we got a spin.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Oh, the 15 goes around. Well, contact with the left.
Caution's
front.
out.
Caution out.
So J.J. Yaley gets into the inside wall, and the first caution comes out.
Cautioned out.
Saw a lot of this in
15
qualifying.
car.
Several cars had
Caution's
trouble.
out.
The track's really slick. Seems like the cars have a fair amount of grip, but when they lose a little bit of control, they just spin them out
Cautioned
really
out.
quickly.
15 in the wall.
J.J. was in the 34th position.
J.J.
with-
Lately, or
He
Yaley.
spun coming off turn 1.
Man, he just spun around.
He's pretty much around when we get to him. But this is something you see. All 4 tires are going to be flat. And unfortunately,
they
he makes
missed the
big
wall.
contact right there. Does some damage to the car.
Yep.
Catches the front and the rear of that number 15.
So caution is out. First caution of the day is out as 15 goes, spins around, hits the wall. So didn't take long. Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, Brian, what's up? It didn't take long for a caution to come out. Took like what, 5, 6 laps? 6 laps? Already got a caution? Yeah. What's up, Joe? Just watching some NASCAR, and it's a caution. Caution's out. Somebody already wrecked. Already, like 5, 6 laps in. Somebody already cut a tire or did something and hit the wall. So another wreck. One wreck. Caution's out. Alright. So hope everybody's doing it on this Sunday. Wait, just this movie everybody says I need to go watch? What's the name of it? Forgot. Yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's something that's heard everybody say that's like good. I gotta go watch it. But everybody told me to go watch Interstellar, and I hated that movie. I thought Interstellar was horrible. That was just my opinion now. Yeah. You're watching the Yankees. The Yankees are they winning today? Are they actually might be able to sweep somebody? Might be sweep. If you hear noise, it's like they're doing some electrical work. cutting an outlet, so hope it's not too long. So we're in lap number 7 of 160. Now 8 of 160. So that wreck happened around lap 5 or 6. All right. Excuse me.
The scenes here, and a sellout crowd, better crowd here than the last decade of racing. So perfect day for racing. And let's get a few updates. We'll start with Kim.
Well, currently Kyle Larson running in the 5th position, and when I talked to crew chief Cliff Daniels, he said they want to stay in the top 8 throughout the day to optimize their options in terms of strategy. Right now, Kyle's saying the car's just really tight in traffic, doesn't know what it's going to do in clean air. Cliff relaying to him what the cars around him are feeling, so he has an idea of the cars battling around him and what he's going to be dealing with restarts, Parker.
Well, Kim, one of the things I think is a great indication of a driver's confidence in their race cars, how quickly they fire off at the start of a race. Well, for
We're
Bubba
up
Wallace,
5.
23 car, up 4
Well, Rizzo's
positions
3
the
for
biggest
3. Well,
movers
that's
in
good.
the top
Rizzo's
10,
been
up
like
to 6th place.
Rizzo's
I kinda
been
had
like
an inkling
horrible
that would be the
lately.
case in talking to him earlier today. He looked at me, he said, I know I hit the wall in qualifying. That was a mistake, but we've got a really, really fast race car, and he's showing that right now, Marty.
We saw Steve's breakdown in the pre-race show of the bubble, and Austin Cindric is in the must-win category. So how are they going to make that happen? Austin told me earlier today, listen, no doubt, it's been a miserable season to this point. But starting this weekend, and for the next 3 weeks, the 2-car will migrate towards Joey Logano's setup. And already, it's resulted in speed here at Pocono. Started 9th, up to 8th for Austin Cindric. Could be a big weekend and a must-win scenario playoffs for a second straight year. Hey, Junior, how's the view from the flag stand with a packed crowd right behind you?
Yeah, the crowd's got a lot of energy. They're thrilled about this race today and glad to be here. One of the things I'm noticing as the cars come underneath me under caution is that a lot of them aren't running. Saving fuel starts when they say, gentlemen, start your engines. It is that critical here. Every ounce of fuel will give you an advantage in this race some way, somehow. Short fueling late in the race, whatever you need to do to give your crew chief opportunity, options
You gotta
with
save that
strategy.
fuel.
That's important.
Gotta save that fuel.
We're getting ready for a restart. First caution came out early here at Pocono. It was.
We're going to commercial again. I thought they just said we're about to go to green. I thought they said they were getting ready to go back to green, then they go to commercial break. Yeah, go figure that. Man. Yeah, I thought they said that they were about to go to green flag, and then they go to commercial break again. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, Rizzo's been horrible last few weeks. LeMahieu, he can't hit. The other guy that can't hit is LeMahieu, Stanton. Yankees have a bunch of guys that can't hit. And they got to get Judge back somehow. And Nestor Cortez. Yeah, Cortez has been out for a while now. What the hell's going on with Cortez? Why is he out so much? What happened to him? Did he tear his rotator cuff or something? What's up, Daniel Barry? Member Gain in the house. Yeah. Oh, he did. Okay. So Cortez is out for like the year then. Yeah, I know he's been out for a while. So yeah, so that's not good. What's up with these pitchers, man? All of a sudden, I mean, they last several years, more and more pitchers are tearing they're tearing their shoulder up, their elbows. Man. Yeah, I saw that. I saw there were Trevino's out for the year. Saw that.
I didn't bring a little broom or anything with me. I'm there to speak up.
Okay, I'll get that.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
I got everything ran till today. We'll come back in the morning and I already got all this ran. I got the floodlights ran. I got that outlet done, this outlet
Okay.
done. Tomorrow I'm gonna come back, get that moved, add that outlet, and drop these wires.
Okay, no problem.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. All right, so we're getting back to action. As back from commercial break. What's this guy? He's carving a turtle out of wood. Man, there's no way I'm not that. I don't have that kind of talent.
I bought you one. I just want to let everybody know.
We couldn't pick it up because we misjudged the traffic, and I was a little nervous we were going to be late. But Greg, if you're listening, we're coming back to get it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Getting ready for the restarts. The pace car is going to make the left turn onto pit road. Field back in the hands of Byron and Truex Jr.
William Byron and Truex Jr. on the outside. The 22 Logano lined up on the inside here for this restart.
Here we go, back to green.
There they go, fanning out, getting runs, blocking runs. It's going to get more intense as the race goes. Those final few restarts later today will be wild.
Contact right there, guys. I saw the 34. I'm not sure what happened. Now Bubba Wallace way up the racetrack.
Yeah, McDowell in the 34 shot down. It looked like there was some contact made as they were getting into turn 1.
Now there's 2 and 3 wide. They're going to have to get this sorted out. 3 wide up front. Look at this, into the tunnel. I don't think 3 wide was an option, but William Byron's making it work. Okay.
All of this has allowed Logano to get clear by almost a second over Larson. Let's see if Larson now with that second position and clean air can drive him down and take the lead from the 22.
Those are those moments. We talk a lot about strategy, but it's a lot about holding serve as well. Byron had the lead. Now he's lost it.
Logano's trying to check out on this field. As Larson about 0.7 of a second behind him. Byron a second back. Harvick a little over a second behind them. Martin Truex Jr. the top 5. Bubba Wallace losing spots here as we ride along with the DoorDash on board.
He had that contact yesterday in qualifying. I wondered about this race car, whether it would still have that speed that they showed up with. Also watching through turns 1 and 2. Not sure if that outside groove has really got the grip that we saw it had yesterday. I'm sure as the cars wear the tires, they get a little more heat. That bottom's going to slicken up, and that outside might be more quicker as far as down in 1 and 2 and turns 3.
And Dale, I can answer that question for you about the 23 car Bubba Wallace. He told me earlier today it just sort of scuffed the right rear bodywork, but it was no major damage in that sense. He felt like the speed was still going to be inside that race car from that wall hit they had to qualify.
Speaking of the inside there, Bubba Wallace.
No, I don't want no
trying to get to the inside of the 7.
I don't want no time.
You see Corey LaJoie moving up the racetrack. Now Bubba Wallace and LaJoie very close to the wall. May have even tagged it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looked
That's
really slow
LaJoie?
on corner exit.
LaJoie's slowing down. That's Steve's favorite driver, LaJoie.
I thought it was just out of the gas, but I think he did hit the wall, Rick. We'll take a look at the right side. Hard to tell its speed.
It's way up the racetrack, gets out of the groove, makes contact.
He did hit the wall.
right
LaJoie
there.
did hit the wall.
Has to come all the way out of the
LaJoie did
throttle,
hit the
and now
wall.
Everybody just running him down. He's trying to figure out of his car right now. He's trying to sort it out. Is there damage? Is there not damage? He's coming to pit road.
Hey, where's your can? That's your brake off.
Oh,
Inside.
It's in here. It's in the
Radio frantic, tire going down. They are going to change the tire, get a drink of fuel while he's on pit road. So right sides only in fuel for Corey, who got a tire cut down.
I don't love right sides only. You're not going to lose a lap from where he pitted. I think 4 tires would have just been a safer call. You hope that it's a right side tire from wall contact, but if you have just the left side going slack, if that's what set him up the racetrack,
Alrighty.
you might have to come a second time as we see Chase Elliott working through the field after a pit stop under that last yellow.
Trying to get by
Look at that.
in the next images 21.
Yeah, see, your buddy LaJoy.
The lead's starting to tighten up, guys, but Larson, he's been able to cut into that 3/4 second lead Logano had. There it is, off of turn 3. 3/10 separating the two cars.
Logano looks like he's running scared right now with Larson reeling him in, both running the same line through turn 1. Down Long Pond straightaway. The gap was a little over 3/10 of a second. It's getting a little bit shorter now.
And their air's getting dirty for this 5 car. It'd be interesting to see if he has to move around to be able to close the gap even further. Can he drive
Yeah, good start, man.
with this 22 car?
Logano out in
right
front.
In his tracks. It'll be a tough move to make. It's a hard track. Take those kind of passes on.
That was a good start.
In the corner, he follows him into the bottom. The 22 up the racetrack actually helps the 5 put a little air on that nose.
And Kyle Larson with the Xfinity fastest lap. Larson, though, after that restart, the team came on the radio and said, you just need to chip away at Logano. He is running very loose. You don't have to get him in a lap. You don't have to get him in 2. Be patient and just slowly and methodically run him down. That is exactly what you're seeing Kyle Larson taking great direction from his team.
Spotting for Kyle Larson, Tyler
Logano out
Vaughn.
in front. Larson, got Byron, Harvick, Truex,
direction
Bell,
from
Hamlin,
on top of the
Blaney,
pit
Reddick, and
box.
Allmendinger. Top
The
10.
gap now getting a little bit wider between Logano and Larson. Up there for the lead, William Byron has settled into 3rd now after the restart. Harvick and Mark Truex Jr. in the top 5. Marty.
Well, Rick, it's interesting. William Byron started on this restart on the front row, leading and was a control car. And he came on the radio after losing the lead, first to Logano and then his teammate Kyle Larson, and said felt like the car was so loose he had a right rear going down. Obviously, it's fine, but how important is that launch here, Jeff, on restarts, and how hard is it to get the momentum back after you've lost it?
We're going to see all day, Marty, that restarts are huge, and it all starts in the restart zone. You've got to get a great launch, great forward momentum, because that carries you into turn 1, progressing on the car in front of you, keeping the car from behind you, gaining on you. If you don't get a great launch, now you're on defense entering turn 1. It is a huge part of having success at this racetrack.
Right.
Well, I'm having a lot of fun on the flag stand here.
We got Ford, Chevy, Ford, Toyota. That's your top 5.
My home is in the booth, and that's where I'm headed next.
That's your top 5 right there, man. Is Ford out in front. Ford. First on race day out in front, man. All right. All right, we got a commercial break, man. Valhalla's not live. I wonder why Valhalla's not live. He always does a NASCAR. Valhalla always does NASCAR. was wondering, we're under green flag racing, but we're on a commercial break. So once we get back from commercial break, I can put the sound back on. All right, so. Yeah. All right, we got the Premier League mornings begins August 11th.
The new movie, Gran Turismo.
Man. Wonder how that would do on the channel. How doing Premier League would work out.
A lot of them are Joey Logano fans, as he is out front by 0.3 of a second over Kyle Larson. William Byron running in that third spot. Harvick is fourth. Martin Truex Jr. is fifth. Then it's Bell, Hamlin, Blaney, Reddick, Allmendinger, all in the top 10. And it seems as though, Steve, we're seeing Kyle Larson close the gap, and he gets within about 2.5 car lengths, and then he can't close it any further.
Well, what makes passing Joey Logano very tough is he's just a driver that makes very few mistakes. So you can see he just kind of content in running his line. He's a groove up in 3, also a groove up in 1, Jeff. And I think as long as he doesn't miss a corner, he's going to force Kyle Larson to find an alternate path.
Now, I think you mentioned a groove up, and I think that's actually the fastest lane. So, yes, Larson has clean air underneath him, but Logano is able to keep his momentum up running in this second lane. So it's going to be a very tough pass for Larson. And something else I've noticed, guys, we had 3 Fords in the top 8. And this is something that we started to see the last few weeks. The Fords have struggled early in the year, but they're starting to show some speed, starting to show the ability to lead laps, run up front at the time of the year that it's most important.
Speed. Let's get a few updates from maybe one of the best on this racetrack. Denny Hamlin currently in the 7th spot, Parker.
Right, Rick, and sometimes race cars just get better with some laps on them. That might be the case for Denny Hamlin and that 11 car as he works on his teammate Christopher Bell there through turn 3. At the start of the race, he came on the radio and said, whoa, he had a huge moment off of turn 1, got very loose, then said his feedback to Chris Gabehart was that car was very, very loose, but for the last couple of laps, he has been the fastest car on the racetrack as it starts to come to him here and tries to make that pass, Marty.
Well, Parker, Ryan Blaney was so excited to get to Pocono after having a terrific car, maybe a winning car at New Hampshire last week, or at least could compete with Martin Truex Jr., and then a bad pit stop on the final pit stop of the day. What's going on with the handling of the 12 car? Listen in.
A bit of turn here, I'll be a little better. I'd say 3 is my weakest corner. Tight initial turn of the wheel in there. And then I just kind of fight loose. We're going up the racetrack. Center exit.
And he also said the bumps are just so rough as we ride on board with the Advanced Auto Parts onboard camera. His secret weapon today might be the young man on the bottom left of your screen. We've talked about how strategy will be everything today. Jonathan Hassler, one of the best young crew chiefs when it comes to strategy. And that early caution certainly going to add to the playbook today, Kim.
Well, 24, 160. He's got 7 laps left to go in this first stage.
Last year is when Ty made his Cup Series debut, filling in for an injured Kurt Busch. But when I came on the holler this morning and talked to crew chief Chris Gale, I said, nice qualifying effort. They started in the 11th position. He said, no, we want to be where our teammates are. They qualified 2nd, 5th, and 8th. They said, even though Ty is a rookie, we hold him to a higher standard because we know his potential. Currently, Ty complaining he just needs the most help in turn 3.
Great job, guys. All right, Steve, we've got Logano up front with Larson running 2nd. So will the top 10, are they running a strategy of all the way to the end of this stage, and maybe somebody outside the top 10 starts looking at maybe changing that strategy up?
Well, the choice for Joe Logano right now with 6 laps to go on the stage is he's currently leading. So there you see right there Chase Elliott moving up. That'll be for the 21st position for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You know, if Logano stays on the racetrack and wins the stage, that's a playoff point. I think everybody wants that. But if you don't think you can win a playoff point, you can pit with 3 to go before pit road closes, not lose a lap. and kind of cycle to the front. Now, that option is really only for any driver that's within about 15 seconds of the lead. You get farther behind than that, you will lose a lap. So it'll be decision time for both Logano and Larson. For Larson is really tough because he's so close, Jeff. He might think, I could pass the 22 and win this stage.
Yeah, that's a tough call, and that's where I would not want to be a crew chief. As a driver, I just have to focus on my job, trust my crew chief to make the right call here.
So
Don't try to put as much pressure on Logano as I can to try to win this stage, but I just got to trust my crew chief. He sees the
Blaney,
bigger
Reddick,
picture.
and Allmendinger, your top 10. As of right now, with 5 to go in this first stage.
The gap once again has accordioned out to about a half of a second between 1 and 2. It's been as tight as about 0.2 of a second.
What's going to make this even tougher for these drivers and crew chiefs is that the speed of these Goodyear tires really isn't dropping off. I mean, cars continue to run some of their fastest laps of the day. Between burning the fuel off and the car getting lighter, and if they find a little bit of clean air, or at least a gap to the car in front of them, that extra downforce, you see a lap time kind of pop up. This is a lot about strategy and a lot about driving ability in these 3 corners, but let's not overshadow the pit stops. You know, not only do you need the speed, which William Byron, Larson, Chastain kind of top that list for the season, but this is not a day to go 10 tenths on pit road. And what I mean by that is this is a 90% day.
No, Bubba Wallace. I don't think Bubba Wallace is not in last place. Bubba Wallace is.
And so they took the opportunity
Let's
to
see
play
where
a
he
little
is.
strategy card here.
He's
Kind of
in
saying the
12th.
car was loose. That's the same thing they were battling in
So
practice
Busch goes in.
yesterday.
I think
You
it's
see
Busch.
the right side tires go on. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for Kyle Busch under green.
Yeah, Kyle Busch is going in.
So to start a flow
pits
of
on the
more
green.
cars making their way, it looks like they're having a problem on the right side.
Keep the
So
car
this is
up.
the fear of every crew chief. So we're going to see where the 8 blends back out to the leader. Now we're going to have a little bit to cover because we're also going to have a wave of pit stops coming in right here. So this is Kyle Busch leaving. Let's see what Joey Logano tries to do off turn 4. He's going to kind of stay on the racetrack. There you go. Look, everyone else. Here comes Larson, Byron, Harvick. This is going to look like a caution. There's so many cars. But what about Kyle Busch? Ooh, he is going to get lucky and stay on a lead lap even with that slow pit stop, Kim.
And
blow a
Kyle
gasket.
Larson complaining again, just a little bit tight
Need to
in
cut a
traffic.
tire, hit the
They
wall,
told me
I'm
they
trying
were
to
gonna
say,
do
or
something
something,
from
or
the
blow an
leader if they
engine.
didn't have the lead. You see the 4 fresh Goodyear tires going on. Sunoco fuel. Here's the 4 of Kevin Harvick finishing up his stop. Kevin just again tight in traffic. Marty.
Boy, Kim, look at all those cars coming down.
Something
Pit
like,
road. William
like-
Byron, you saw, has the number 1 pit crew. He also has the number 1 stall today.
Lose a cylinder.
Said the car just got way too tight when he was behind others. Ryan Blaney coming to pit road saying, too, the top car was getting tighter the longer he ran. And look at all the traffic coming off pit road. We'll see where they blend, but some staying out to get those stage points to be handed out here in 3 laps.
Staying
Yeah, we'll
out
see.
because the stage
With
points
this-
are staying
these
out because
stage
of the
laps,
gap to the
yeah.
leader. We see all these cars leaving pit road right here, well in front of
A
the
wrench in his
leader.
damn spoke. Well, I don't think they have
Red
that.
car.
But maybe they can. Maybe they'll forget to put the lug nut on. That happens.
Horizon red for the 22.
That happens. People, some of these tire guys forget to put the lug nut on the tire.
We've got Allmendinger, McDowell, Wallace, all those guys, they've stayed out. And so they're trying to just get as many
You ever
points
been
as
to a
they can.
NASCAR race? You ever been to Talladega?
Doing all they can to get themselves into the playoffs.
I've been to
One
Talladega
other
before
driver that's
and
looking for as
Daytona.
many points as he can get would be Martin Truex Jr. And that's
Going on
because
NASCAR
he
race is
right
fun.
now is in a big fight with the 24 of William Byron for potentially the regular season championship. If you do that, you get 15 playoff points. That's like winning 3 races.
Man.
You've
You've been to Atlanta, okay.
Joey Logano, who's that right behind
Crazy
Joey
WD-40.
Logano? I think that's the 47
WD-40.
of Stenhouse, who said, man, I came to pit road and I lost a lap. Now he's using those new tires. He has to push
That's some
harder.
good shit,
Probably
WD-40.
Logano thinks, man, I got a big gap behind me. I don't want to mess with this 47. Keeping him a lap down isn't a high priority for me. So that's an important move by Stenhouse Jr. to get back on the lead lap. That could make his entire day.
It also shows that new tires may matter. You know, we didn't see that in practice, Steve, but with Stenhouse being able to go up there and pass the leader, that shows me that new tires could come into play late in this race.
47 was 16
We're in
seconds
the
back,
last
so that's
lap of
why
this
he came out just a little
stage
bit
number
behind
1. Looks like
but was
Logano
able
is going to get the
back
bonus
on
points
lead
for winning
lap.
the
That puts
stage.
30 5 cars on the lead lap at the end of stage 1 as Joey Logano, with a 1.8-second lead over Martin Truex Jr., is going to win stage 1.
Yeah, Logano wins stage 1, Ford, first on race day. Followed by 3 Toyotas, Truex, Hamlin, and Reddick. I think it was Allmendinger was 5 with a Chevy.
Sounds like a potential tire going down in the 22. Might have got super lucky.
Stage 1 over with some rough racing for J.J. Yaley. He spun around early, but in the end,
All right, I think we're under caution. WD-40. Yeah, Talladega's a little haul for me, but not really a long drive, but so stage 1 is over with, and we're under caution, and the beer. Do. Yeah, Talladega's. I've been to Talladega several times. It seems like it takes a long time to get out there to Talladega from where from me. Now, Talladega is really closer to the Georgia state line. Hello, Aquavision. Bader just made a great catch. I thought Bader was hurt for some reason. Like he couldn't. I thought he was injured where he couldn't play. Then he came in the game yesterday and said, "Well, maybe he's not injured." All right, so we had the first stage just end, and Logano. Who's this? Is that the president? Is that the president?
Fire Rescue. Tuckanuck Township Fire Company.
Yeah, what's that? Is that the president in that car or something? Looks like they had a convoy. All right, now we got the ambulances and the fire trucks.
Making the way onto pit road, led by that 22 of Logano, Kim.
And he said he was loose into all of the corners. He rotated good and won loose over the bumps. You see him top left. He said, I was tight in traffic before I got clean air. Those who do not tighten it up, they did make a small air pressure adjustment on those Goodyear tires to give him more grip, Parker.
And for Tyler Reddick at the top right of your screen, he was just very on edge through turn 3. The team said, we can see that. We'll make a small adjustment for him. That's 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. The bottom left of your screen, Denny Hamlin. We noted how loose he was. They're going to make an adjustment on that, and they're going to wait on fuel just a second, Marty.
Big debate on Martin Truex Jr.'s radio as to whether to
who's going to come out first out of the pits.
A little bit on fuel, just like a teammate Denny Hamlin. They did decide to pit road for fresh Goodyear tires. He said it was crazy in traffic. The car was so tight.
So do a Denny Hamlin is going to come out off pit road number 1
when all those cars pitted.
The cars that came to pit road, Hamlin fastest off. He gains a couple spots. Martin Truex Jr. held on to that second spot, and Reddick also gained 1.
All right, another commercial break. Why not? since we are under caution, why not have another commercial break? It looked like it was gonna rain here earlier. I mean, it got dark, and then it just went away and moved. It didn't rain here. It rained somewhere else, but didn't rain in my house. But it sure looked like it was gonna rain because it got dark, and the wind started blowing a little bit. I said, "Oh, it's getting ready to rain," and then nope, it's moved away. Needs to be like a halftime in NASCAR, where I can go get like some more beer run. No halftime here. Still under caution. We still under caution? Damn, man. It's under caution.
For Martin Truex Jr. gaining the 9 points because he's in a tight battle right now with William Byron for the regular season championship. Again, Logano wins a playoff point because he won the stage. Then you look at Allmendinger, McDowell, Wallace, all right there at that cutoff line for the playoffs, and they're fighting for every point they can get.
And the car that's also in that battle with them, Suarez, finishing 12th in that stage, does not get any points. So these are the little things that are happening throughout all of the races leading up to the playoffs that decide that bubble battle. These cars unlikely to get a win before we get to the playoffs. Possible, but unlikely. These stage points is what's going to matter.
Every point matters. Okay, KP, I know you're down there on the Peacock pit box, but let's talk a little bit about starts, restarts. What can you do to maximize your position and maybe gain positions on these restarts?
Well, listen, when they get 5 wide, you're not going forward anymore.
Cal Petty.
We've seen that on the starts. But if you look at the start of the race, we talked about it earlier in pre-race, Steve and I. The start of the race is the calmest time. You see this start. You see a couple of guys at the back peek out to the left a little bit or peek out to the right on your screen.
What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
Nobody really plans out. Let's go to the first restarts if we have. This is the reason. They're already halfway through the pack. They're 3 and 4 wide. We see some radical moves right here. And when we get down here, it's 3 and 4 wide again. This is only the first restart of the race. I understand why Junior left the flag stand and came back to the safety of the booth, because it's only going to get wilder.
He wasn't wearing a helmet.
What's up, Jeff Nelson?
So you see Hendrick cars on the 5 and the 24 up front because they pitted.
We're about to go back under green.
Stage ends. Why does that work? Well, now look, they came to the front of the pack. Harvick, Bell, Blaney, all at lap 27. So look way down here in 14.
We're about to get back under green.
They were the winners. Or the
flag
top
racing.
End of the stage. Now look where they're going to restart. They're row 6, row 7. And you see 27 to 32, only a couple of those are green flags. So the cars in front of them have like 2 hard laps on their tires. I don't even think that's a tire disadvantage this weekend. So going to be a stressful time for Hamlin, Truex, and those fast cars. Parker.
And there might be more stress for Denny Hamlin. He was told to wait on the nod of the fuel. Remember, fuel strategy is so important. Take a look at this pit stop. He's going to go before the nod from the fueler saying it's full. Gabe Hart came on the radio and said, we might be close on this one. You need that fuel, Steve, to make these strategies work.
Hamlin left early.
Small execution.
I don't think he got all the fuel.
And this is a familiar sight. William Byron on the inside, Larson on the
Here we
outside,
go.
or vice versa, as we see the 24 and 5 getting the green flag. And once again, as Kyle Petty mentioned, they're fanning out 3, 4, 5 wide
Man.
as they get ready to come into turn 1.
Whoa, we got a wreck.
Logano, who won the stage
The 99.
backwards.
Suarez in the wall.
Caution's out.
Huge for Suarez.
Caution's out.
Talked about this tight
Logano
battle.
and the 99 car. Uh-oh.
This is the problem. With starting back mid-pack, Joey Logano won stage 1. Remember, think about
Logano
this.
won
Only
the first
one
stage.
One winner has finished in the top 5 2 of the last 8 races. 2 of the last 8 races, stage 1 winners. So that's the danger in getting those points and then getting mid-pack.
The Suarez car is all screwed up.
Suarez's 99 machine.
And think about all of the adjustments, changes
The
to
99 car is all
NASCAR
screwed
made to
up.
allow them to absorb
He's
these
got a
hits.
lot. He's got a lot
This
of
is the
damage. No,
ramifications from that. Obviously,
gotta
it
buff that
absorbs a
out.
lot of energy that the driver does not, but the
I'll
damage
buff right
much
out.
more
Don't worry about it.
severe in these impacts and these wrecks than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and I'm great with it. Right? I'd much rather have the car
Man.
as safe as possible. You know, people hate this cliche, but you don't build them to wreck and keep racing. Like, when you wreck, you wreck. I hate it for Suarez. The 22, on the other hand, it didn't look like his was damaged too much. It looks like he's just stuck with 4 flat tires. We asked NASCAR this morning.
4 flat.
4
But he
flats?
needs tires or tow truck quick.
Okay, so what they're going to do is push him around to his pit stop.
So Logano has 4
Tires on.
flat
They're not
tires
gonna
while he
remove him from
can't
the race
move.
with the damaged vehicle policy and all that. The AMR safety team there is on track to help him. But he's definitely going to lose a lap or 2.
We'll see what happens. Start all this.
Man.
Here's Joey Logano in the outside lane. Goes to the bottom. Oh, yeah, a little bit of contact from the car in front of him. He came down on him. Couldn't quite make out who that was.
Man. Another caution.
So there it is, the 45 of Reddick.
It
On
was
the
a
outside of
45
the
car.
22s
Yeah, the 45 got
getting
into
shoved around. You know,
Logano.
he has some control, but when you're getting pushed that much, Jeff, you kind of are being steered by the car behind you, and you see it steer him into the left rear quarter panel of the 45
But the
car.
99, but the 99
Turns
really
him
took the
around.
brunt of the
Travis,
wreck
I
because
always
he.
want to know, like, when you go down the interstate, you have these blind spots, but that's with side mirrors. These guys, how well defined is like lane 1, 2, and 3, Jeff?
Not very well, but let's watch Suarez. Let's see what he is. The bottom car, oh, there's the contact right there. He just was underneath some other cars. They came down on him. Just nothing he could do.
One of those is Bubba Wallace. We're going to ride on board with him. Look at this race. The left side of
Bubba
the street.
Wallace, there's Mr. Sir Uga's favorite driver.
He hits the right rear quarter panel. He's drove down into the right rear quarter panel by another car.
Bubba drove.
That
Bubba
car
drove through
was
like
down.
that. Drove through
You
like
wonder
he
if
was
he's got
cold
damage.
trickle.
Again, another one of the guys in the points trying to make the playoffs.
Man.
And Suarez's car, it's a lot of damage. You mentioned Logano maybe not having as much damage. He will go
Woo-wee.
multiple laps down, though, trying to get him to pit road. And on top of that, getting the car back to pit road damages all the underbody.
Right.
And the car, many times, does not perform as well after that.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if the car drives as good as this drove all day long after dragging all that stuff off. I mean, just even a thousandth of an inch can make a big difference in
Logano's got to
how
get
much
towed
that,
to
that
the
car
pits.
loses in downforce.
He has
but carrying
his
it
tires
this
are all
way
flat.
is a little unique, kind of a new way of doing things to get these cars back.
It's better this way because you're not damaging the rear diffuser. That's the most sensitive part of this car.
If there's anything that you can say is better for Joey Logano, he's got to hang his hat on that.
Yeah, so commercial break. So caution is out. Caution's out. It's Logano and Suarez are both. Suarez got the he got the more damage. Suarez is going to need to go and get some duct tape and some and just buff that right out. You know, he'll be good to go. Yeah. So we got another commercial break as we're under caution. Logano won stage 1 and then he wrecks. Man. It's not. It's some bad luck there for Logano to win the stage. And then he gets in a wreck on the restart. Man, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's like Logano's gonna be. He's gonna have to go and get some tires, but he's gonna be down a few laps probably. He's gonna be down a few laps. All right, so commercial break we are. We're here. Commercial break. Man. Okay, so we're still under caution. Waiting to get back from, waiting to get this race back underway. So, once we get it back underway, we'll be good to go. Enjoy this in. We'll be right back on YouTube TV. Back we go.
Setups there in the infield and enjoying a great event here.
All right. Let's get back to racing here. Back to racing. YouTube TV. Tyler, just like YouTube TV.
He qualified 17th. So why does that matter, right? Well, he came in 1 point below. He qualified 17th, about 0.4 of a second behind, say, Ty Gibbs in 11th. What that did is put him in a position where he was too far behind the leader to end that stage to come under green and get track position. Travis Mack had to stay out. He stayed out. He wasn't far enough up to get stage points. So now he's back in the middle of the mess, and he gets caught up in this accident. And now he has all this damage.
Look at Logano's.
It all starts. Everything matters.
Logano needs some tires.
A better qualifying lap for the 99 could have been the difference maker. Now the 22. I don't know what to say. I like the call of staying out and winning the stage. I think you take a playoff point whenever you can, Jeff. And now, I mean, it's just a tore-up race car. It's just bad. That's racing, I guess, is what you would call that.
It's racing.
When this happened, it spun around and it hit the left side the car pretty hard.
It sucks for Logano.
So the damage to that, and kill him also the damage done getting the car back to pit road.
Yeah, and this is really a tale of two tapes because on Daniel Suarez's side of things, no stage points. So this amplifies the fact that they got no points. Good news for Joey Logano, despite the accident, despite the damage to the car, they won that stage.
Getting out,
showing
back on the track.
Stage points if you get
Suarez
caught
and
up
the
in
99 cars
later,
getting out, they're getting back out there.
Done. It looks like on the 99, they might bring him back around one more time. Travis Mack asked a number of times, Daniel, what your gauges look like. He said the water and the oil look good. They did full crash repair on that 99 of Daniel Suarez, Parker.
And Kim, two other cars that had some contact in that instant there that are on the playoff bubble were Michael McDowell in the 34 and Bubba Wallace in the 23. Both teams were evaluating those cars, and both came to the conclusion that they're okay. Even the 34 that has a little scuff on the left front, and the 23 had a little scuff on the right front, but both teams establishing that they are all right. And the spotters on those teams also reminding their drivers, we see those fanning out into turn one, that they can't see very well. It's a blob of cars. They can't tell you sort of the definition of how you're side by side, so reminding those drivers they're kind of on their own into turn one.
Steve, I want to make sure we remind the fans the damaged vehicle policy of the two cars that were in this incident that have come to pit road. They're on a clock.
Yeah, they have 7 minutes basically to repair their car, and they'll drag your car back there to let you work on it. The damaged vehicle policy is not to eliminate cars that should stay in the race. The cars that really should. We don't want to see 15 cars out there riding around wrecked in the car's way, and that's what this team's trying to do, is take all that time and evaluate what's going on with the 22. Now, the interesting thing for the field itself is as we ride around here under yellow, we are moving very dangerously close to a pit window as you see the 99.
Look at Suarez's car, man. It's
So
all
pit road was
screwed
open
up,
at
man.
some point, there were no takers. Now they're
Man.
closed again. I just wonder if they reopen.
Suarez's
at
car
any
is all
point.
screwed up.
No, they're going to leave them closed because the 99 or the 22 sitting on pit road. So I was a little surprised more teams didn't come, kind of top off the fuel and get on strategy towards the end of the pack.
Man.
It's a long ways around this racetrack as we're seeing one car, a couple cars make their way onto pit road, but so much damage to the 99.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
99
I'm
car's
surprised
got
it's actually
a lot of damage.
Still functioning. And he doesn't have any issues as far as water
his
pressure
car
and
is,
other things like that. This is unique to
he-
the next-gen car. We're seeing
he's
damage
got a lot
to
of
the nose of
problems.
these cars that we are usually not seeing. So I
Got a
think
lot
this
of
is an
problems.
experience, a new experience for the team as well to try to repair this car and get it back into the race.
And I think also this team may be just looking at the 22 team. If we can go out and make a lap, then we run a lap more than the 22 and we finish in front of him. So it could be just simply a move for that. I don't know that they're ever going to have enough speed in that 99 to get it going, but pick up a spot on Joey Logano.
Man.
Every point matters. Kim.
And despite Daniel telling Travis on the radio, my gauges look good, Travis said, it is a mess down here. You are leaking fluids. Take it to the garage. So that gauge not showing Daniel what was actually being diagnosed on the car, because when he left that pit stall, again, just a mess in Daniel Suarez's pit.
All right, so back to the damaged vehicle. You
So
have
Suarez
time, but
has
what
to
you're
go
not allowed to do is go
behind,
behind
the
Now,
wall.
listen, if you come out, you
If
hit
he's
minimum speed, you
leaking
can go back there and
something.
fix anything you want. You're not on the clock. But when you're on the clock, if you go to the garage, your day's done. So Daniel Suarez will be basically the last car in today's race, first car out.
Well, you had mentioned make a lap. He did make a lap. Remember, he went
Yeah,
around.
but you have to
so
run
he-
at minimum speed.
He has one more lap than Joey Logano because it was under caution. So he actually,
Okay.
if Joey Logano doesn't get a go, he's going to score in front of him.
That's the only reason he made
Yeah,
that lap.
there was
They
a
knew
wreck
they
to
were
start
done.
this.
They just made a lap trying to beat
Yeah, there was a wreck on the restart after the stage.
So we see
ended.
the DVP, that clock.
And that's why we're still in the
drivers
caution.
Now
Oop,
coming
now
into
we're getting
turn
back
three
on the
as
way.
We're getting ready to go back to green. William Byron, he's on the outside. Larson on the inside. We'll
Here we
try
go.
it again.
Great pushes from both lanes. That outside looks a little more organized. Got 3 cars bumper to bumper.
They're side by side into one. Larson tried to surge ahead. Got about a half a car length there. And then
they're wrecking.
momentum.
Oh, another wreck.
Austin Dillon slides around.
Another wreck.
That all started in turn 1 on a restart. On the restart, BJ McLeod had some trouble getting down into 1. Kyle Petty
That's
talked about it. How crazy these
bring
these
the,
restarts are, how aggressive
yellow
you have to be. You're also
out
trying
again
to
is
get the car
Dillon.
fired up, won't fire.
Dylan's car is not firing up.
AMR safety crew to him.
Michael, do you see
Need to get the jumper cables out.
Got it fired back up.
Gotta get the jumper cables. Oh, they got it started.
It's not
Maybe
uncommon
not.
for a car to spin and take a while to fire it off. I don't understand why, but it just happens for whatever reason.
Nope, he got it
See what
started.
happens. Way in
What
the back,
happened
see
here?
the orange car in the back. BJ is on the bottom, blocking a little bit. Here he comes up the racetrack into the left rear quarter panel of Austin Dillon.
Man. Another wreck. Another wreck.
Dillon was running 26th, so back in the pack.
Man.
That means another restart. And
First, it means pit road because I think
Yeah.
we are in a real decision maker. Let's ride on board right here. Oh man, that's frustrating.
Man.
Didn't really do anything wrong.
Great job by him, though, standing in the throttle and then lifting off the throttle at the right time to make sure it didn't get turned left and go down to the inside.
So as the field
So,
comes around, Rick,
Caution's out again.
lap 43 of 160. So 118 laps to go in the race. You think you can go 40 laps on fuel? You know, this might put them in a situation where they feel good about their fuel window. And this is the struggle of this race, right? It's an easier decision for the cars in the back, right? I mean, if you're, say, 20th or farther back, you're always swinging for the fences, trying a new strategy. But, man, if you're Byron and Larson, you're seeing all this chaos, you're like, well, I don't want to go back there. It's so nice up here at the front.
We saw Joey Logano coming off pit road to rejoin the field, and you could tell that car just not quite right. There's some damage to the left side from hitting the wall. I think he's got a toe link bent or broken on that left rear that they'll have to either repair. Maybe he's just out here just like Suarez was to make laps. Caution's out, go out there, ride around till this caution's over with, and we're coming to pit road. And we're probably going to exceed the damage clock trying to make that repair to the left rear suspension, but they gained that position on Suarez.
Yeah, he's just a couple seconds away from that clock expiring. So I think what you just explained is what they're trying to do is potentially get in front of Suarez for that finishing position. So we knew restarts were going to be tricky. Well, it's happening all over this field. Austin Dillon.
Another wreck. Another caution. Another caution's out. And another caution's out. Caution, caution, caution. Caution, caution, caution. We're back. What kind of snack I had? I got popcorn. So I can have. What kind of snack I wanted. Get popcorn. Another wreck. Another wreck. Another wreck. Another wreck. Another wreck. Man. And they couldn't get halfway around the track on the restart. Another wreck. Man. Yeah, we'll see what happens on this third chance. Well, I'm sorry, the second chance to restart. No, third chance. You had to restart. They had a wreck. Restarted again. A wreck. But this will be the third restart after the first stage. After the first stage ended. So, we'll see if they can maybe run a lap or two before they decide to wreck. Popcorn, damn it. So, Byron is out in front, so. William Byron's out in front, followed by Larson, then Harvick, then Blaney, then Bell, Keselowski, Gibbs, Cindric, Bowman, and then Denny Hamlin. That's your top 10 right now in the race. But under caution. Under caution. On the back. See. So Premier League is returning August 11th on NBC, USA, and Peacock.
All week on the networks of NBC, Peacock. You're watching thehighpoint.com 400 from Pocono Raceway. And people are watching from everywhere. The infield, the grandstands.
Restarts have been crazy.
Here we go. I think we're getting back.
That
I
is
think we're going to go to green.
Well, Rick, we talked about how strategy's really all over the map here at Pocono. So this is an interesting twist, Steve, with all of these cautions that have come out. Those who pitted and went all the way to the end of stage one now feel like they can connect that to lap 80 or so and make it 2 more stops in this race like Martin Truex Jr. But there's a ton of cars, Steve, that pitted short of stage one, did not run it all the way to the end. Those cars say they cannot make it all the way to lap 80. They're going to need at least 1 more caution in this stage to be able to pull that off. Man, it's down to a game of inches here on pit road and for all these strategists and crew chiefs.
That tells me they're all getting better mileage than I expected. I thought we'd see a lot of cars pit there to fuel, but what Marty just said is, You know, they're going to get well over 40
Here we go.
laps of this tank of gas between the yellows and a little bit better mileage.
We'll try again. That outside row.
Let's try again.
24, the 4, and the 12.
Let's try it again.
As well as the 6. Back up through the gears they go. We'll see how they do through turn 1 this time. Now,
Man.
cars jumping out of line.
Chase Elliott makes a move on his teammate Alex Bowman down into turn 1.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Wreck.
around goes a 5. Larson goes up and tags the wall.
Another wreck. Oh, my God. Another wreck. As Larson's in the wall.
Told us a while ago that a request came to William Byron, from William Byron to his spotter.
Unreal.
Make sure I get my tires cleaned up on the restart.
Man,
Did
another
not get
wreck.
good grip driving into turn 1 with debris on them. Get them cleaned up.
We can't run a damn lap.
Always had trouble
We
with.
can't run
Wonder
freaking
if that's
lap.
what happened here.
I could have went got more beer at the damn grocery store. And we still in a caution.
Getting a push from Christopher Bell right there behind him.
3 wrecks and like, man.
Man, I think Christopher shoved him a little bit too far into the corner, and he was worried about hitting his teammate, or maybe they did make contact.
Man.
But Christopher Bell had the 5-car upset right there.
Yeah.
Way too much pushing too late down into the transition of turn 1.
Having your tires clean is really important, but having them all on the ground is more important.
Well, how about Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick splitting them? Kevin Harvick, that orange car, gets around to the outside. Blaney gets on the brakes and goes to the left. Oh, man.
Are we going to run a lap?
Just can't believe nobody made contact. I was seeing how hard he hit the wall. It looked pretty square. I'm going to use the word soft for damage. Take a look at this.
Man. Can we run a lap without wrecking? Man.
Riding along with Blaney.
Can we run a lap without wrecking? Man, unreal.
That's just a great view. You can hear him on the brakes, off the gas.
This is gonna be the 4th restart since the stage
ended.
ended.
I got to stand in the gas because he's going to get out of my way. He did it.
Unreal.
Kim.
And checking the rear right now of that car. They think he hit pretty square, aren't overly concerned about damage, but want to do their due diligence. As you see, go. They feel like it looks good. Changed 4 tires on that. Maybe they're going to check the front too. Cliff Daniels saying make sure he has all the front clearance he needs. Check the splitter.
Right.
So they're doing that right now. Listen to the radio, though, that came
No more
through.
wrecks. I don't know about that. But hopefully we can get a lap run.
All right, not hearing that radio, but they did come on the radio and confirm to Kyle you did nothing wrong. The 22 got aggressive and got into the back of you, Marty.
Yeah, Christopher Bell felt so bad about that. He came on the radio to Adam Stevens, says, man, that was my fault. I did not mean to push him that hard into turn 1. And Adam Stevens said, hey, bud, listen, it's early in stage 2. There's a long way to go in this race. And remember, we've been on the receiving end of that. It happens.
Interesting what we saw from the 12 car. He is, he's pushing the car in front of him, Blaney, and he starts to lift and roll out of the gas early to allow the car in front of him to get down into the corner. Kevin Harvick
going
on
to
the
the
pit
pits.
road, changing up his strategy a little bit, just about to miss his pit box, Kim.
And you see that crew kind of fumbled there, too, as he almost missed that pit box. Had to kind of adjust there.
Look at him. He's like
Right
all
side tires
cockeyed
going
in
on.
his
It's gonna be
pit
full
box.
tires, Sunoco fuel. Kevin Harvick will typically always take 4. Gives him the feeling that he is on offense versus defense. All right, and back here at the Care Center, Daniel Suarez has been released. Daniel, what happened?
I don't know. I got thrown around on the right rear in a very fast straightaway. So just lucky that actually we didn't get wrecked big time. Unfortunately, we can't continue anymore. But at the end of the day, it's our fault. We shouldn't be back there with those guys, with the squirrels. We missed the balance of the car in the first stage, and we lost a bunch of track position.
Yeah,
and,
Suarez car really got fucked up.
So kind of got it back a little
earlier.
bit. I felt like, once we got the balance, we're going to be able to drag to the front, but I didn't get an opportunity and got wrecked before that. But again, a racing incident, but we shouldn't be back there racing with those guys anyway.
What does this mean for the next 5 weeks in this team?
I mean, we just have to control what we can control. Unfortunately, on this one, it wasn't my mistake. It was a racing incident. The crazy thing is that the 34 and the 23 are the ones that actually wrecked me. I mean, they didn't mean it, but it's funny that those are the guys that I'm racing for the points. But it's what it is. We have to just continue to work and go to Richmond and focus for that one.
Well, unfortunate for Daniel Suarez.
Damn.
You can tell there.
So we under caution. This time because of Kyle Larson. As Christopher Bell got into the rear of him, spun him out, and back under caution. Another caution. I think we're gonna run a lap. I think this next time around, I got some confidence. I got confidence that we're gonna run a lap. I'll go up without wrecking. I got some confidence that we're gonna be able to. So. All right, we still commercial break? Yeah, still commercial break. There's the popcorn up. That dropped. So, yeah, gonna have no more wrecks, hopefully. Not for a while, anyway. We gotta run some laps, man, on the green. I mean, hell, I could have gone to to the store and got more beer after that first stage ended. Man, because we still be under caution flags. It's crazy. It's crazy how that can't seem to get this race restarted. All right, I think maybe we're back to racing here. Let's see.
NASCAR on USA is brought to you by.
All right. So hopefully we can get some laps run here this next time around.
There of getting into the playoffs is very, very intense right now. KP, what are you thinking about with the bubble as we look at this and this incident and the restarts?
Listen, Steve Letarte explained it well in pre-race, but all I wanted to talk about were the guys at the top of the list. But the bubble, the intensity has picked up. Those three guys, Michael McDowell, Bubba Wallace, and Daniel Suarez, were all in that incident. So they all banged off of each other. Daniel Suarez got the worst of the end, or the worst of the deal. It is going to only get more intense. Points are getting scarce. Opportunities are getting rare to make them up.
Yeah, there will only be 5 races remaining after this Pocono race. So you're trying to get everything you can get. Bubba Wallace, as you mentioned, involved in it, but he's 22 points above the cut line. McDowell 15 right now above Allman.
Oh, I need to do Braves games again? Okay.
16 drivers will make the playoffs.
Okay. Well, they don't play tomorrow, so.
Believe it, Rick. We've run 19 laps of this stage. Majority of it under yellow. We can't seem to get the race through turn 1.
Yeah, 46 laps still to go. It'll be 45 when they come back around for stage 2. That's just a reminder. If you are playing fantasy, You have 45
Let's see if we can get this like a half a lap run without getting a
I'm
wreck.
going to recover, Rick, because that's basically what I'm hinging on.
I've already put him in the garage.
This will be the fourth restart after the stage
What about
ended.
Kevin Harvick? Kevin Harvick was running second, and he pitted, and now he is all the way back in 29.
And that's where we've seen incidents on restarts.
He has tons of laps more fuel than other people, but he gave up a ton of track position.
We'll see how he does back here in the chaos.
So Harvick is currently 29th.
Byron. And now
And let's see if we can get
Bell on the inside, Byron on the outside, and back up through the gears they go.
All right, come on. Let's see if we can get a lap run here. At least a lap.
Great organization in the outside, and you see there that line surging ahead. Now disorganized on the inside
man.
with another 3-wide move by Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott, the man on the move, and the number 9 on the inside of that second duo of cars. Alex Bowman in the Ally 48, taking a peek to the inside of his teammate.
All right, I think we're gonna run a lap here.
Wallace trying not
I think we're gonna run a lap here on the green.
High into the 6 of Brad Keselowski as those two continue to fight for a spot. Bell, after starting on the front row, has now dropped all the way back, and Keselowski's going to get the spot from him. And so Bell back to 5th. Byron, Blaney, Gibbs, Keselowski, and Bell.
Truex is moved in behind Chase there, now to the inside of the 9 car.
Man.
Tyler Reddick going by Bubba Wallace down Long Pond straightaway as they head towards the tunnel turn.
Bowman faded just a little bit to the back, lost a spot to Truex, another one right here to Denny. Side by side behind him. That sorts out with Reddick and teammate Bubba Wallace getting through. Kyle Busch fighting to the outside of the 2 car now. Cindric. Kyle in that 8 car on the outside, exiting turn 3.
Now this outside lane, you talked about it being organized. It's even organized into this run. That 2 car Cindric stuck on the bottom. No momentum down on the bottom lane. Outside line just going by him.
Haley in the 31 on the outside of Cindric. Again, the story this past week was Haley is going to be moving to Rick Ware Racing in 2024, leaving Colleague Racing. There's an opening now at Colleague Racing.
Boom, boom, boom.
On sweeping turn 3 here at Pocono.
Kyle Busch battling right now. Looks like battling with Bubba Wallace. Bubba's lost the position to Bowman.
Kyle Busch has really good run going right here. Had good speed in practice, and I talked to him before the race, and he said that when they went to qualifying, show him it was just horrible. Qualified poorly. You see that move right there? Didn't work out for him. Now Buescher looking underneath him. Kyle's going to use that outside lane, get back by Buescher. But Kyle was excited about his car today. Disappointed in qualifying, but thought they could race really well.
Going to get Kyle Busch running in the 12th spot right now. Bubba Wallace just in front of him. William Byron has a half a second lead over Blaney.
Way down low, there's the 34 McDowell trying to get around both Ricky Stenhouse and Cindric, and here comes, looks like maybe the 14 car, the 41 car Priest into the picture. All these guys here racing around the backside of the top 20.
Cindric going the wrong way. He's had really good speed early in this race, but just is having trouble getting his car to drive the way he wants it to.
How frustrating does that have to be for Austin Cindric when his teammate Blaney is running up there second? We saw Logano win stage 1.
Look at them. Giving hand signals to each other, not happy about how they're racing each other, but that's the way it is at this area. Oh, contact right there. Was that maybe, the number 1 signal that he gave him? And maybe Stenhouse didn't like that. Said, man, you know what? I'm going to give you one in the door for that. More contact right here, and look what's happening.
More contact. More rubbing. More rubbing.
Dillon's like, what do I do here? You guys need to sort this out.
Austin Dillon looking to the inside of that 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It's Noah Gregson in the 42 just in front of them.
Yeah, I wonder if Cindric flipped off the 47. The 47 drove in his door, turn 3. Unhappy about that, man. That can really frustrate you when you see a driver do that.
You see on the bottom left, the 22 out of the race, couldn't meet minimum speed with that damage, so he'll retire for the rest of the event.
Larson struggling off the tunnel there for some reason. Lost a spot to Eric Jones. Now he's going to turn and go back underneath the 43 if he can. Can't do it. Off of turn 3 here. Harvick behind this.
Look how hard it is to pass. Larson only up to 25th. It's tough. I mean, it's very hard to get position on somebody and complete the pass here.
Riding along with the Hunt Brothers Pizza on board of Harvick. Remember, he came to pit road. That has relegated him back into the 26th position. Larson also back there running with him.
Let's see right here. He just waves like, hey, what's going on? Throwing his hand up in there like, what are you doing? And then this 47 just racing hard. I think it's loose.
Man.
I wanted it to be the other way around, but
I like the other story. I like the other story.
Entertaining for
Sure, I was with you.
Yeah. McDowell right there around the 8 car. Kyle Busch back to 16th here.
4-time winner at
way
Pocono.
Up the track. Way up the track. Oh, almost contact with the wall.
Yeah, 8 car almost hit the wall.
Almost that we've seen out of Kyle Busch. We saw it a week ago at New Hampshire. Practice qualifying, and then in the race he had issues. Now here at Pocono, missing the line.
He's just pushing really hard. He always drives hard, aggressive driver. We all know that. Just overstepping his bounds a little bit the last couple weeks. Maybe he's sending a signal to his team. Hey, man, I got to be able to have better cars. I need to be able to drive the cars this hard, Kim.
And when I talked with crew chief Randall Burnett this morning, I said, what's your focus over these next 6 races? He said, we need to do more work to get playoff ready. And for us, that means we have too many peaks and valleys throughout the course of the race. We need to be more level, specifically through the green flag to the checkered flag. So this is another incident where they're having to deal with a valley, and they're looking to just have a consistent race, Marty.
Well, Kim, hand signals aside, Austin Cindric fighting for everything he can on the racetrack right now, sitting in 18th. So, Jeff, I want to ask you a question. We mentioned earlier for the next couple of weeks, they're going to try Joey Logano's setup here on the 2 car. But how difficult is that, especially in this day and age with 20-minute practice sessions and no real time to feel out what that feels like behind the wheel for Austin Cindric to just throw on Joey Logano's setup and go race it?
Yeah, Marty, it's a great question. You have to wonder, we're in the 2nd year of this car. I'm sure there's been times that they've had Logano set up in that car, and he liked it or he didn't like it. It's probably just more of a commitment to saying, hey, this is how we're going to unload. We're not going to change a lot of stuff. We're not going to completely change the car for practice qualifying. We've got to learn how to make this work. If you do it, we just got to commit to it.
Blaney and Gibbs will continue to fight for the second
top
spot.
5.
Right now,
Byron, Blaney, Gibbs, Keselowski, and Bell, Chevy, Ford, Yoda, Ford, and Yoda. So we got a commercial break. So we'll see a commercial break. We ran some laps on the green. We're running some laps on the green, which is a good sign. Because of what happened a little while ago. It seemed like every time we got a restart, it was a wreck. And it was a wreck. And then there was a wreck. Another wreck. But it looks like now we're racing under green for a while. It's good news for us. Good news for us racing fans. I'm back here. I'm back as we in commercial break. So alrighty. Hey, we'll see what goes on here. As we're in the second stage, it's been a while in the second stage because of all the damn wrecks. Didn't have all those wrecks earlier. Second stage might have been finished. Might have been. All right, so. Getting back to action here on commercial break. All right, so we're in lap number 63 of 160. We got 33 to go in the second stage. So
Ty Gibbs, we ride along right now with Ryan Blaney and that Advanced Auto Parts on board. Blaney is just in front of Ty Gibbs, who started this race in the 11th spot, now running in third, Kim.
And a great run for this rookie driver. And when I was talking this morning with crew chief Chris Gale, I said, this is a challenging racetrack, regardless of whether you're a rookie or a veteran. What about Ty can work well here? And he said Ty has complete trust in what decisions the team is going to make strategy-wise. He just worries about driving the car the best he can. He doesn't try to suggest what to do in terms of strategy or put in things trying to meddle with what they're doing. He focuses only on driving the race car, and that is what's going to benefit them today. And Marty, that's what we're seeing right now. Ty Gibbs in third position.
Well, Kim, how good have things been for RFK so far this year? Well, Brad Keselowski's fifth at New Hampshire last week was his fourth of 2023. He had won the entire year last year, and he'll tell you Pocono is one of his favorite and one of his better racetracks as well. The problem for Brad K and everyone who's short pitted stage one, Matt McCall tells me they're still short to be able to make it to that magic number, lap 80. That's what you have to get to make it in two more stops. They'll try it maybe from 79, Parker, but they'll be at a deficit to the other cars.
Right, Marty. Our Ashley Furniture on the move. Driver has to be the number 9 of Chase Elliott, starting this race far in the back after a spin. He qualified back at 35th, all the way up to 6th place here and fighting with Truex Jr. for that 6th position. He's been fairly quiet on the radio, only came on at one point after one of those restarts, apologizing to his teammate Alex Bowman as they sort of had a little connection there into turn one. He apologized for that. Otherwise, been very happy with that number 9 car. They're up many spots, but in that similar strategy position you mentioned, as they short pitted, that's what got them up here, but they're not going to be able to connect at the end of the stage like they wanted.
Great update, and during the update, as we see the 11 of Denny Hamlin turn left to try to go under the 9. 11 looks pretty sporty, trying to recover. You see at the bottom of your screen the 8 of Kyle Busch. He's a lap down now. He's third in line. Right in front of him is Ryan Blaney in the 12. That's because of a pit stop, but nothing smooth about this pit stop. 17 seconds on pit road for the 8 car. And as a crew chief, when you call the strategy, do all this math, you don't have an extra 5 seconds built in to have a slow stop, Parker.
16 in the
See
pits.
Allmendinger here on pit road. He's been fairly happy with that race car right now. They go through the strategy motions. It will be 4 tires and filling it full of fuel as they go through what they believe is their strategy. A little slow there on the left side to get the jack up for Age Allmendinger. Very happy that race car.
Allmendinger in the pits. Now he's out the pits. Bobby Boucher.
You're seeing all these drivers, so there's a lot of things going on, but the crew chiefs kind of have one guy. You know, in football, when the coach
Bobby
goes up and
Boucher
down the
in the
sidelines,
chat.
there's a guy behind him kind of making sure he stays off the field. Well, if I'm a crew chief, I have that one engineer that his job is to make sure I don't get more than 15 seconds behind the leader. And because you get so distracted, he's hitting you on the shoulder, letting you know you need to come now if you want to pit under green. And that's the cycle we're starting to see. You know, this 47 right here of Ricky Stenhouse, he's trying to unlap himself. He had come to pit road, and now he's a lap down. So this is the struggle with it.
Kyle Busch also being scored a lap down. Only 2 cars that are out of the race.
Yeah, I don't think Kyle Busch. He's
the 12 car in
a
second,
lap
right
down.
behind this
He's not
battle.
winning this race. He's 34th.
Right behind Blaney as we ride on board
Kyle
the
Busch
advanced
is
auto
probably
parts camera. There
not
it is,
winning
the
this
8
race.
car going to the inside.
So to your point, Jeff, earlier, tires matter. Because Blaney's a good car, right? He's not letting Kyle Busch go. There was a question if Logano was letting somebody go at the end of stage 1, but there's no way Blaney is letting the 8 go out of kindness right here. See on the left side, fuel remaining. Everybody's trying to get the lap at least 79. That's 11 more laps, trying to stretch that fuel. It all comes down to how well they did under all those yellows. Junior was a huge fan of saving gas under yellows.
We had a bunch of them.
Hated it.
Take a look at the progressive telemetry now. Talked about the shifting that takes place here, how much brakes they're using. We look at Ryan Blaney.
So Blaney's in the
fascinated
2
with just the
spot.
speed.
William
I mean, I
Byron
know
out in
I've
front
been
by
here
a second and a half.
over 2 decades, but just the place is so big that from the infield you have a hard time just understanding how fast they're really going. Until you put this telemetry up, you're going to see, you know, over 180 miles an hour on this front stretch, and then hard on the brakes.
Hard on the brakes.
Fifth year, they're right before the flag
80,
stand.
184, 85, 86, 87, 190, 93.
193
Man,
in turn 1.
he got to 193
And all the way
and had
down
to
to
bend a
140.
brake. Man.
Bubba Wallace
So
on pit road.
Bubba Wallace in the pits.
Right, he's been very tight in that race car.
There's
Came across
Sir
multiple times,
UGA's
just ride that
favorite
hand
driver is
in
Bubba
condition,
Wallace.
Especially in turn 3, as you see the 4 Goodyear tires going on here for Bubba Wallace, as well as filling it full of that important fuel here. Spoody Barker has been on the radio throughout these stages and updating him on the strategy and telling his spotter as well how many cars they may see pit and how that would dictate their strategy. They've stayed fluid with it, and this is what they decided here to pit at lap
Got
69.
27 laps to go in this second stage.
Back up through the gears, and another driver that is currently an out from the incident early on in this race. Joey Logano, Kim has caught up with him.
Yeah, part of that restart incident that Daniel Suarez was also a part of. What happened, and then does NASCAR need to rethink its towing situation?
Well, yeah, I mean, first off, I think, you know, it's good that we had a stage win. That gets something out of the day at our Verizon Mustang.
Yeah.
That's nice. It just seemed like on the restart, had a gap down the middle. I went down the middle, and it kind of squeezed up, and as I kind of was squeezing back up, I think the 34 got me in the right rear. It's still not a great angle to tell from there, but then we just got stuck on the wall. And that's when I got drug around the racetrack for 2 miles, and I think we can make that a little better. Maybe have a tow truck with some tires on it and put some tires on it so you can at least limp it back, because it's a pretty bumpy ride. Yeah, that really doesn't do it justice right there. It really sucks, so I hope we can make that better in the future. But, you know, there's a lot of cars this week that had 4 flat tires that had to get towed in, so 2 miles is a long way that way. So hopefully we can make that a little bit better, but like I said, it stinks because we had a really fast car, obviously one that could win the stage, and just didn't get to finish it out.
Joey Logano out of the race here at Pocono.
Poor Logano, they won the stage and then out the
Already
race.
this season with a win. That came early, the 5th race of the season at Atlanta. So he is in the playoffs even with this accident.
Advance?
In Advanced Auto Parts.
Need that die-hard power.
Well, Advanced Auto Parts is where diehards true.
All right. Alrighty. Commercial break. Man, all right. So, commercial break. Commercial break. As we're in lap number 72 of 160 here in Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. I hope everybody's doing well today. NASCAR Nonstop Progressive. Progressive sponsoring this nonstop action as we see the drivers go around the track, around the track, around the track. See if we can get like, see if YouTube can help us out, man, and get some people in here, man. We talk some NASCAR. They need to, YouTube needs to promote our stream here. So we can get some NASCAR fans in here. We can talk about the race. Joseph Van Newgarden dominated the IndyCar race today. Says Kyle Lamb. The only IndyCar race I usually watch is the Indy 500. Maybe I should watch more IndyCar. Maybe I should. All right. So we're at lap number 74, 160. So we got a long way to go in this race. But we'll see. A long way to go in this race. A long way to go. All right.
Here on pit road as strategy starts to unfold here in stage 2 here in this race. 4 Goodyear tires and that all-important fuel, and they are not waiting on it. Also was on pit road under break there was the 11 at Denny Hamlin. We told you earlier how he had not waited on that fuel in an earlier stop. They needed all the fuel to connect to the end of this stage like they wanted. He had to come down pit road almost 6 laps earlier than that team wanted to, which is going to put them in a real bind strategy-wise, Marty.
Boy, Parker, for all those teams who short-pitted stage 1, is getting to the razor's edge, including for the leader, William Byron. Listen to the radio.
Yeah, burn into the switch here. We'll pit after we hit the switch. Just don't waste any fuel. We'll need all we can get to the end.
And again, they're trying to get as close as they can to lap 80 and then connect that to 120 to make it in 2 more stops. So Rudy Fugle, Steve, told William Byron, run to the switch. What does that mean?
All right, so a couple things. The switch, the way that these fuel cells work, there's multiple pickups. The first one, the one you run majority of the time, is either spaced off the floor of the cell a little bit or in a position where it doesn't pick up all the fuel. So you feel the car stumble, you turn the second switch on, kind of like reserve on the motorcycle, Rick, when we were kids. At a place like Pocono, it's probably only 1 lap. Now, what are they all trying to do? Why is lap 80? Listen, it's just a road trip. We're on a road trip up the East Coast. You're trying to get to lap 160. That's the end of the race. If you can run 40 for simple math, that means you need to come at 120, which means you need to come at 80. It's a little more complicated because you got some cautions and a stage end, but that's the simple way to look at it. All of these teams are going to try to stop just 2 more times, really close for some of them, and then 1 more time in the final stage, Kim.
Yep, and Ty Gibbs following that same suit. They told him as soon as you kind of feel that, hit the switch and bring it into us. Ty reporting that car very solid, just a little bit too free.
All right. So Byron up by almost 2 seconds over Blaney.
Byron is out front by 1.8 seconds over Ryan Blaney. Then Ty Gibbs, another second back from him. And then it's 5 seconds back to Brad Keselowski. So the top 4 separated.
The top 3.
On the left side of your screen, you saw how many laps they had run on fuel.
The top 3 is
so many of these drivers.
By 3 seconds. When you go past that, it gets to 8 seconds.
There's not a fuel gauge inside the car.
No, there's not a fuel gauge. You'll look at the fuel pressure, or the car itself will actually stumble just a little bit. And that's when you flip that switch.
We're on you. We're within a lap, but you have to flip it, and then we can run a lap.
There you go. So Ready Fugle says, hey, William, don't be concerned if this thing stumbles a little bit. Just reach up and flip the switch. don't run the thing completely out of gas and get it shut off, and then run, finish that lap and come to us on pit road. So this is not a new thing. It's been around a couple, or at least 10 years or so. Parker.
Also, some more pit stops happening here as you see Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain in the pits.
27 seconds behind the leader, so inevitably most likely will go a lap down until William Byron's able to hit pit road. Very tight in that race car, just not been able to make it handle the way he wants, just struggling to get the front end to turn.
Well, so now that whole 15-second thing's kind of behind you, because if you're running to lap 80, you're going to run it for as much fuel as you have in. The one of Chastain probably just needed gas, because to Parker's point, there goes the leader. He's going to be a lap down, but everybody hopes the leader will pit before the yellow comes out. Right now, you're kind of holding the breath if you're the crew chief of the one. You just don't want to ill-timed yellow while you are the car lap down. Parker.
Also on pit road in the 17 of Chris Buescher, who's 12 seconds behind the leader, Steve, so this should work out a little better for them. So they're able to get stage points in stage one. This will also be 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, filling it full as they can here for the 17. He's just struggling through the bumps in turn 2 over this last run.
So there's a little difference. We saw earlier that the 11, we were supposed to let the jack
That's
down.
why I want to be in the pit crew. I want to be the guy that picks the tires up and pulls them over the wall for the tires that they changed. That's what I want. I can do that. That's what I want to do. I want to be the guy that just picks the tires up and pulls them back over the wall.
Telling the driver
the tire that they just changed.
On the fuel. I like the signal to be the same all the time. When the left side drops, that's when you go.
That's what I want to do.
6-car Keselowski on pit road. Marty.
And Jeff, the other interesting thing for Steve from back in the day, now crew chiefs have the SMT data, so it's a little less guesswork. So Matt McCall makes the call to bring Brad Keselowski in, running fourth at the time. At one point in the run, he said, "That's all I've got, bud." So the car just shattering the front tires is his biggest handling issue. Going to pack it full of fuel, hoping they can make a long run here. And look how long they're waiting on the fuel. That's the penalty, Steve, of waiting so long and actually have to back them up there. That's going to cost them a ton of time.
It is going to cost him a ton of time. There's kind of a third look, as you saw the pit crew guy with his hand there.
Keselowski had some problems in the pits there.
Until the guy releases you. Now we see William Byron, the leader, as well as Ryan Blaney, second, dive to pit road together. Now it'll be interesting to see their strategy on getting the cars full of fuel, Marty.
Yeah, this will be a little bit of a longer stop, and Rudy Fugle did warn William Byron about that. He said his biggest issue, he's too free, especially off turn 3. That's where the handling issue for him. They're going to have to wait on that Sunoco fuel. Ryan Blaney said his car was way too tight across the tunnel, and that was really bothering him. Christopher Bell, also on pit road, said, "I like the car way better on this run." And look how long they have to wait on the fuel with these longer stops. You can't short fill here. You got to go as long as you can if you want to make it on one more stop. Austin Cindric also on pit road.
You gotta get every drop of fuel you can in that gas tank.
That's what he wanted. Now those who
you gotta put all that. You gotta put any kind of gasoline you can put in that tank. You gotta get it in there. You want to make it on one more stop because you're at 80 of 160.
Longer the fuel than it used to. It takes less time to change tires.
So Chase Elliott in the pits.
And we're welcoming in the viewers of the IndyCar race. It's just concluded from Iowa, the doubleheader taking place there. And right now we're in green flag pit stops taking place out in front. Ty Gibbs is leading. Parker.
Right, as you see Chase Elliott on pit road right now, have used great strategy to get track position as race falls a lap later than his teammate in William Byron and filling it full of fuel. Also the monitor screen, Michael McDowell's had a stellar top 15 run throughout this race, got stage points in stage 1, went all the way to lap 80 here, and you see them waiting on that fuel,
everybody's trying to get every drop of gas they can get in that tank.
If you're a driver, Jeff, to your point, you're sitting in there, you don't hear the guns anymore, changing tires, just waiting on that gas.
And Ty Gibbs, they needed a couple more laps, a little bit more time than Blaney and Byron because their fuel mileage not quite as good as them this year. You see Ty on pit road, it's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, making sure they're filling that up. There's the second can of Sunoco fuel. Ty just a little bit free on that run as they make sure they get that fuel cell full, Marty.
So the magic number that James Small wanted, working lap 82, gives them enough cushion here, they think, to be able to make it on one more stop and maybe even an overtime finish here. Martin Truex Jr. said, "I would like to be a little more aggressive, especially on the exits. That's my biggest problem." But they've been very happy with the car on the 19. You also see Ryan Preece here on pit road as well. 14 to go. go here in stage 2. And again, they'll stay out in theory here at the end of the stage as well.
So, Jeff, the one thing I do like about the driver having to wait for the jack to go down is with the car being flat, you do get an extra maybe couple quarts, 3 quarts of gas in because the way the air gets trapped in the system. So I know it's more responsibility, but I do think there is an advantage to it. That's why they do it. But I love watching these stops because every week we talk about jack men, tire carriers, tire changes. Let's not forget about the fuel guys. They're only allowed to fuel, so we don't talk about them normally. But you saw that athleticism. Remember, to go back and get the can, Kim, and come back with the second can all on their own.
And you're seeing on board from Austin Dillon, the chassis adjustment just a little bit too free on that car. 4-tire Sunoco fuel for Austin Dillon, and you're going to see them wait until they get that fuel cell full.
Saw the nod from the gas man as Austin sped away from his pit stall.
Yeah, gas men are like linemen. This gas can is 90, 95 pounds, 100 pounds. So watch this 54. Gas man has to sidestep because he's long in the box. 2 steps. Now watch him step back. We're going to let their tire changer underneath. And watch this exchange right here. Can out. That's 90 pounds right away. I mean, he hits it at full speed. Great efficiency by the gas man. And this is something that's hard to practice because at live pit practice, you don't like to use fuel because of the danger, so they dump water a lot. Everything just feels a little different.
Yeah, that gas, I'd holding that gasoline
You are sitting there
thing
as
is
a driver, and you
heavy.
call, your crew chief says, "Hey,
Heavy, man. That's something. That's one of the things I would probably not want to do in a pit crew as a guy to hold the gasoline because
feel the jack fall without constantly talking to him.
too heavy
Because
for
in
me.
a normal pit stop, Junior, the jack falling is the signal. When that jack falls, that's when you go. If you're going to change something, you need to over-communicate.
That's right. Repeat it a couple times. Every time you're going to do something unique, you have to have the spotter, the crew chief, continue to repeat what's going to be different about this particular stop.
For those of you that have just joined us, right now you see Larson and Harvick up at the top of the list here. Well, Larson was running second and actually spun, had a little bit of help in turn number 1. That relegated him all the way to the back. So a little bit of strategy here has put Larson up front. Harvick came to pit road a little bit earlier than everyone else, so he's on a different strategy.
Well, you see William Byron in 7th, right? He has almost a full tank of gas, best position for those situations. Caution's got to kind of change everything. 11 laps to go in the stage. But I like what Larson's doing. You mentioned it. And at some point, you can only kind of do with the cards you're dealt. He didn't mean to get spun out into turn 1.
About 9/10 of a second separating Larson and Harvick now running 1 and 2 with 11 laps to go in stage 2.
Wendy?
all right. So we're gonna go to the commercial break. Commercial break here in Pocono Raceway. Has Kyle Larson out in front. So Kyle Larson's out in front, but it's probably gonna change eventually. Let's see what kind of emojis I can put. That's it. It's all, oh, there's a bunch of them. Okay. I was like, where are all the emojis at? YouTube? Yeah. But we're going to do this one here. Alright. So we tend to go in this second stage. Larson's out in front. So interested to see what happens here. We're in lap number 86 of 160, so so about seven laps past the halfway point in this race. So Larson, Harvick, and Jones is your first. That's your top 3. I know no wrecks in a while has been nice. I agree. We had a problem after the first stage, and then we had like 4 restarts, and we've now we're finally got a big a lot of laps run here under green. Had 3 wrecks, man, it was crazy. three accidents. I think it was 3. We had the restart. No, it was 2 accidents. It was 2 accidents. We had the restart, and then a wreck. Restart again, a wreck. So, I believe it was only 2 wrecks, but we had like all those restarts. What's for dinner? I'm not sure. Gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out. Football's back on 9/7. Yeah, I know. My channel needs it. My channel definitely needs football back.
Radio broadcast. You can also upgrade to premium for full access to driver audio channels. And there's an ad-free experience. Search NASCAR in your app store, and you can start a free trial today. All right, guys, let's take a look at the Ruoff Mortgage Keys to Victory Lane now with 72 laps remaining in this race.
Well, the field's completely jumbled up. Who's made the right pit call? Who will continue to make the right pit calls with 7 laps to go in the stage?
Yeah, restarts, survive them, but you also have to advance in them. Certainly missing the wrecks is going to be big, but it's a chance to pick up spots. You have to be aggressive.
And shift happens a lot around this racetrack. Down in turn 1, now in the tunnel. We used to not shift there at all, but now they're shifting in the tunnel as well. Who can take advantage of that acceleration out of the corners, downshifting in each corner, make their cars go faster?
And fuel. Drivers hate to hear it, but regardless of the strategy, we are not sitting here putting extra in just as much as we need. Who manages it correctly to get through the last 72 laps of this race?
Steve, you had mentioned if you wanted to, you could go 40, 40, 40 as far as when you come to pit road. As we see now, Denny Hamlin and the 48 of Alex Bowman fighting for real estate.
Denny's on a little bit newer tire than Bowman. He's chased down this 48 car, but Bowman is fighting hard on the outside. Gonna side draft a little bit. Try to keep him close. Almost contact right here. Bowman's fighting hard. I think he still believes, hey, I gotta fight for every point. I'm in a bad position in the points. In the playoffs to the bubble, he's got to get every single stage point he can. Denny doesn't like it, though. He's like, I don't like you racing me so hard. I ran you down easily, and now you're going to fight this hard for this position. Finally, Bowman gives it to him in the tunnel.
Here in 6 laps, we're going to kind of see everybody's hand when it comes to fuel quantity because, you know, who decides to pit, who decides to stay out. We've actually seen a few cars trickle to pit road. Marty.
Yeah, a couple cars coming here. Ryan Blaney right now sitting in the 11th position with 5 to go in the stage. So how hard does he push for that stage point? Listen to the conversation a moment ago.
I need to know my objective. I think I know, but are we going to get anything with my vehicle? I'm trying to bat the sky because I can. Or should I just try behind him and save my stuff? Try and hold your spot and save your stuff.
So with Eric Jones pitting there, Blaney now is in the 10th position to be able to get a stage point. So Jeff, how hard is that behind the wheel? Your crew chief tells you, hey, fuel's the more important game here. You got to make it to lap 80. Yeah. That's the focus. Don't burn yourself up.
You just have to trust the strategy. You just have to listen to him, understand. He understands what's going on, big picture, and just do what he asks. Now, Blaney does have a car in front of him that has much older tires. He should easily be able to bypass. There's a 21 of Harrison Burton actually pulling over for Blaney. Should easily be able to bypass him for that point. Kim.
Harvick. I don't know.
Kevin Harvick coming in for his stop. Just a little bit tight has been diagnosis all race long. You see the chassis adjustment right there to free him up just a little bit. They'll wait on that fuel. And Kevin Harvick completing service under green.
So 4 laps to go in the second stage.
Harrison Burton pulling in behind him. The real question is Kyle Larson, right? You mentioned he's about to spun out. He was last on pit road at lap 49. Can he stretch it all the way to the end of the stage and win a stage? Get that playoff point would be very important.
Oh, wreck.
Around. Wow.
20's out. 20's Bell spins out.
Caution comes out. It's the 6th one
Caution's
of the
out.
day.
His Bell spins out.
He's in 11th place right there when he lost control off of turn 1.
It's going to be interesting for a few of the cars.
So caution's out.
I'm thinking still planning on coming to pit road maybe. Now they're going to ride around under yellow. Let's see how the 20 gets back without damaging his car. And take a look, guys.
All by himself right here, just loose. Back comes
Man,
around.
what happened to 20? He just by himself.
Christopher Bell.
What happened to Christopher Bell? He just spins out by. Nobody hit him.
This morning, and he said, "Look, we've got speed. We just got to quit making mistakes." And he was talking about
nobody hit him.
Pit crew, and that was on him. Kyle Larson coming to pit road.
So
caution came out. He could not get on pit road. Most likely, I couldn't see the lights, but most likely it would have been a violation because the caution lights came on before he was on pit road. So wisely turned out.
Man.
It was interesting to listen to the radio because it was pit, pit, pit from Cliff Daniels. And then as soon as he saw that incident, the caution, he said, stay out, stay out, stay out. Now, Larson was right on the edge of that fuel window. Obviously, caution laps a little less costly than under green. They have told him, save as much as you can. This caution is going to run to the end of the stage. Then once they open pit road, you're going to be right on the edge of it. So save as much as you can.
So that's the concern. So you definitely can save a lot under yellow. But first of all, if you run out under yellow on the front stretch, you're not going to coast back around without being at speed. And he has to run 3 more laps, see the green and white, and a 4th lap to get to pit road. So, 4 laps, ho-hum, 10 miles. I mean, that's a lot of – that looks like a concern. Well, Cliff Daniels.
Steve, how dangerous is it, too, that he's going to be shutting the car off and then hoping that it starts back up again because he doesn't know how much fuel he has?
Well, so his option is what? He can come with the pit road closed. That's an option. The penalty is tail end. You'll start at the back of the field. That only costs him a few spots because I don't think a whole lot of guys are coming here. There are definitely some that are coming, so it's going to cost him maybe 5 or 10 spots. Ty Dillon right behind him, he's probably hoping that the 5, has to come. He thinks he can win himself a stage by staying out. And William Byron is hoping the 2 in front of him both can't make it for his playoff point.
So the caution comes out right here at the end of stage 2 for Christopher Bell, going around in the 20. Larson, if he's got enough fuel, he might hang on and glide across the finish line to win stage 2.
USAA? You were in the military? No, my grandpa was. He passed membership to my mom, then me. Huh. Yeah, if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served, they could pass it to you. I'll check it out.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
All right, so commercial break we go. All right, who's winning? Right now they're in caution, so. Right now we're in a caution, so there's pit cycles are going to happen, so. Yeah, we're going to have some pit cycles coming through here. Right now, Kyle Larson's out in front, but he's gonna have to pit. Kyle Larson's gonna have to pit. So we'll find out here once all these pit cycles go through. Dun, dun, dun. All right, man. Come on, let's get this race back started, man. Man, sucks we had a caution, but we've ran a lot of laps on the green, so hopefully we can. Hopefully there's no problems on these restarts coming up. So let's get this race back started. Enjoy the Zen.
Stage 2 is going to end under caution for the NASCAR Cup Series High Point.
Yeah, so stage 2 is going to end under caution, and Kyle Larson's going to win stage 2 as long as he doesn't run out of gas. But Larson's going to have to pit.
Because we could win the stage.
Well, so here we're hearing a few cars that have to come to pit road, and depending on how many come, Larson's going to restart. I don't know, maybe 15th or 20th, and if he has to pit with pit road closed, that's tail end. That's last on the field. So it's not just a stage win. Now the stage win has some high value with that playoff point.
I'm doing well.
He's shaking it around, maybe trying to fill that pickup.
Well, the other thing, Steve, you had mentioned it was 4 laps until the end of the stage. Well, he's going to have to go all the way around after he gets across the start-finish line here. So he can't come to pit road now. He has to finish the stage.
Well, I mean, he can come to pit road, but it's closed. He wouldn't win the stage. But if you run out of gas, you run out of gas. I mean, you have to get around. So there you go.
Will they let me get back to pit road?
Kyle Larson.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So Kyle Larson's going to win the stage. Ty Dillon second.
Ty Dillon has the same number of laps.
But now Kyle Larson has to
has a problem with fuel. So does
go around the track again and go back to pit road.
Larson.
And this is the problem. So what he's doing here is the fuel is picked up in the right rear corner. Think about swinging a bucket half full of water. You can swing it over your head and the water doesn't fall out because of centrifugal force. The fuel cell is built the same way. The pickup's in the right side, so when you're turning left, it gets slung to the right under green.
A little door there to hold it in?
Well,
the pickup area?
Not even a very good door anymore in these. Now, they all run the same fuel cell, so there's no more technology advantage from one team to the other. A little bit of a box to catch it, but not as cool as it used to be when they could design their own. So now he's staying on the flat and swerving to try to fill that box or the pickup up.
And another thing that this does is it doesn't allow Allmendinger, who's going to finish 11th in this stage, to get any stage points. A driver who's really bettering his chances and moving forward in that bubble battle with the points, with the 99 car of Suarez wrecked out. If they continued that green flag run to the end, I believe he does cycle into 10th or even 9th place to end this stage to be able to grab a few points. But they're frustrated inside that car, just barely missing the top 10 for this stage 2.
Before it gets too loud on pit road, let's go to pit road for KP, and let's talk a little bit about restarts, KP.
It seems like that's the only reason you guys want to talk to me, man. Hey, listen, how did we get to this drama that we have at the end of stage 2? It's all about restarts. All about restarts. We see on this restart here, everybody begins to jockey for position. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. 7 wide. Listen, something's got to give when you're 7 wide. You can tell where 1 or 2 cars at, but you can't tell we're 7 wide. We see Joey Logano gets the short end of the stick, and so does the 99 of Daniel Suarez. Both of these guys involved in wrecks. Catastrophic for Daniel Suarez today. He needed points. He needed stage points, but he needed points to stay on that bubble. We see another restart here, where they go down into the corner. I don't even remember who spun on this one. There's been so many accidents. We see the 78 of BJ McLeod. He comes up and gets into the 3 car. Kim?
Kyle Larson on pit road. He said with the cloud cover, it has freed up my car. I don't have the lateral grip. Earlier in the race, Cliff Daniels saying, we'll make an adjustment for you. Air pressure. He said, you're going to be waiting about 13 seconds for fuel. It's going to feel like a long time, but we have to get it full, Parker.
All right, the 11 of Denny Hamlin on pit road. We talked about how he didn't wait on fuel. This is the ramification that they were not able to do this on one more stop, so they had to come down 4 times of fuel, Marty.
Alex Bowman said the car fired off
So
really
Denny Hamlin
well,
out in
but
front.
when the sun came out, it got really
Bowman,
slick
Wallace,
also.
Reddick,
Like Harris
Allmendinger,
asked him, what do you need for traffic?
Larson,
He said,
Haley,
"A lot
Dillon,
more turn
Priest, and
than I
Chastain
have."
in the
Those
top
are the
10.
cars that pitted, but Rick, a lot stayed out trying to make it to that magic lap 120 number for the final stop of the day.
Yeah, so many stayed out that it's going to be very chaotic again, and we've seen this already. It's happened at the pointy end of the triangle.
All right, so we're going to have commercial again. Be right back. Another beer. Another beer. Another beer. Based on a true story. Alrighty. Ooh, I need to open my beers up. Alright, I'm back. We're still under caution here. Still under caution. As we're going to get into the last stage of the race. Last stage. Last stage of the race.
Well, Rick, talking to William Byron earlier this week, he said after Nashville a few weeks ago in New Hampshire last week, I honestly was a little bit worried about the speed that we had at Hendrick Motorsports. So it was nice to show up this weekend and know that we brought speed, but also that we can take a few punches and still lead the regular season championship standings, or at least be close to that. So William Byron and Hendrick Motorsports have certainly shown up with the speed. Can they close it out for their 5th win of the year? That's the big question, Kim. Rudy Fugle told me they can make it to lap 122. That buys
We got
them
62
an
laps to
overtime
go.
finish on fuel.
Well, Marty, for rookie Ty Gibbs, he is within striking distance of a playoff position. So I asked crew chief Chris Gale this morning, what does that mean for you over the handful of the next races? And he said, we have to be way more aggressive in deciding how we're going to get in. Are we going to get in on points, or are we going to try and go for a win? We've seen an aggressive strategy today from Gibbs. Right now, he's saying that car is very solid. He feels like he can push it when he needs to. He's currently running in the 4th position, Parker.
And Kim, one of the coolest stories in NASCAR in 2023 has to be 38-year-old Michael McDowell and that 34 Front Row Motorsports team coming into this race right on the playoff bubble, 1 point to the good, and then putting together a stellar race, restarting here in 8th into Stage 3. And this race is a great example of what has put them here. Executing at every level of this race, pitting perfectly, getting stage points in Stage 1, waiting on the fuel, and now pitting at lap 80. They can do this on one more stop, which should set them up for a great finish, at least in the top 10. Once again, a great season by Michael McDowell.
Yeah, Goodyear tires.
You mentioned
I used to have
the stage
had a
points.
Mustang
Take a look at who has earned the
that
most
had Goodyear
today,
tires.
And Hamlin tops that list with 15
And those things
stage
were
points.
expensive,
Reddick
man.
with 12, Truex Jr., Logano 10 each, as well as Larson with 10.
All right, Rick, a lot of conversation about strategy. Let's just look at this final stage. This is where we're
Then
at.
I found some. Then I found some.
Everybody's trying to get to the finish. The
I
magic
found some kind of a genetic, not
here,
you know,
about lap 120. That's
a little
the
more or
goal.
less expensive
Everybody needs
tires
to 120 to
than
connect,
Goodyear
and some
that
guys
fit
can
it.
run past 120.
And that's what I got. That's what I got like all the time after that.
But I think around
Yeah, those Goodyear
118 to
tires were like
122,
$200 a
the entire
tire
field's gonna pit under green.
for that damn Mustang.
Door to door, side by side.
Here we go.
Once again, as Blaney gets a big shove from Ty Gibbs on that outside line.
It pushes him out clear, but they aren't together. That inside line is. Here comes the inside line
We got
back.
61 to go.
Blaney's clear
We're
down
like
in the
100
turn.
to 160.
It takes the air away from the 24 to the inside.
Is it gonna be
Truex. He won't
Brian
make the
Blaney or
pass, but he
Truex?
slots into second place in front of
Look at
Byron.
Blaney.
Way up the racetrack here, the back of the field. Looks like Cole Custer up in the wall there, as these cars jockey for position down the Long Pond Straight.
Damn.
Eric Jones in the 43.
Go
that
throw it away.
ducked way to the inside.
Bubba Wallace as well. Rick 3 wide down in the corner, taking a few spots.
The wave around went to the 14 of Chase Briscoe and the 38 of Todd Gilliland. So they took the wave around to get back on the lead lap.
31 cars in the lead lap, and you see them all right here. Guys, William Byron, are you surprised? 2 restarts, he's lost the lead. That's shocking. Just hasn't worked out. I mean, here comes the 19, down to the inside. Going to try to upset the air on the 12 car. Can't really do it. Falls in line. They're going to run down the Long Pond stretch. Byron slightly gaining on these guys, I imagine, as they try to race side by side through 1 and 2.
See a little bit of draft from Truex, gaining on
60
Blaney down
laps
this straightaway. Now they go in the corner. This is where it's very difficult for Truex. No air on that car.
Byron up the racetrack back there.
That's the gap between 1 and 2.
Here's Kyle Busch getting into the wall just a little bit, if at all, coming off of turn 1.
Here comes the race for the lead again. Martin Truex Jr. to the inside.
Truex got it.
Run on the 12.
He side drafts, moves
He's
way down
down.
the
Oh, yeah,
racetrack,
Truex got it.
forward momentum. Look how far ahead. Blaney giving up another spot. Is there a problem with the 12 down the front straightaway there? He's to the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he's a little bit off the pace, guys. The 54 coming around the outside.
Must have lost so much
feels
momentum.
fine, Junior. Yeah, he said it feels fine, Rick. I just have no power. I don't know what's going on, but still losing spots for Ryan Blaney.
Well, it might feel fine, but it does not look fine. If he feels like it has no power, it has to be some sort of mechanical issue for this 12 car, because to your point, Junior, they're going by him. I mean, look how quickly the cars behind close in, and they're side by side.
Damn.
Trying to listen to see if there's anything wrong with the engine.
It sounds normal, but obviously the acceleration is not there.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that 12 car.
Over 190 miles an hour easy at the end of the straightaway.
That 12 car,
This thing is only topping out at like.
You don't have the.
You can see there's nothing the driver's going to be.
It ain't got no speed, man.
So a problem for Blaney after taking the lead, has lost it. Martin Truex
Is he
Jr.
down like a
has
cylinder? I mean, I don't know.
Over William Byron.
You have to wonder if they broke a spring or something in the rocker
Something's wrong with the 12 car.
The downshifting here, if sometimes you get a little aggressive downshifting.
That 12 car is
early,
falling back a lot. Is he down a cylinder? I mean,
It goes by in the 45.
Some guys downshift down in the middle of the corner at low RPMs.
His car is falling back quickly.
Sometimes he wants to downshift early and use that engine braking to balance the car into the corner and help the car rotate.
So Blaney back down to 13th place.
Not use all the brakes.
And he's falling
to slow
quickly.
the car down as we continue seeing great battles back through the field.
Yeah, we saw 3 wide there, of which Kevin Harvick was right in the middle of it. Yeah, look
Ryan
at speed
Blaney's,
comparison. He is 8 miles
He's 8
an hour
miles an hour slower than the leader.
Race leader Martin Truex Jr.
That's a lot. When you're 8 miles per hour slower than the leader, that's a lot.
Keselowski looks on. Harvick battling hard around the outside, making this a difficult spot for Denny to get. And Keselowski loses the air on the nose of his car and gives up the spot to Chase Elliott in the 9 car. Chase moving into 9th place.
Harvick not giving an inch through 3 here.
I love it. I like when these guys race each other like crazy. They get frustrated. They make mistakes.
Boom, 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 boom.
These two will be side by side. Hamlin, will he try to go a little bit deeper into 1?
Harvick dives into the corner.
Man, come on. Hamlin's going to pass Harvick?
Both back into the gas, and Harvick still surges ahead.
You hear that? The microphone, it's kind of in the front bumper of the 4, and when the front bumper got next to the exhaust of the 11, it really gave you a great sound of what the exhaust sounds like, and it was clear that he was still
before I got my
Hamlin trying to use all the racetrack he can.
before I got a tune-up this last time, he told me the mechanic said that
trying to squeeze the 11.
I was probably down a cylinder in my car. I was like, yeah, the pickup wasn't like it used to be.
Here comes the 9 of Chase Elliott.
So he said I probably lost a cylinder before I got my tune-up the last time.
He pushed the 4 right past the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
That's so frustrating for Denny, and he'll have to go back to work.
Oh, wreck!
Into the wall.
Oh, it's hard in the wall. Who is that?
And Austin Dillon for the second time.
Austin Dillon.
Around in turn 1, this time
caution is out as Austin Dillon hit the wall hard.
Hard lick. The car got turned around, right rear first.
See him throwing the steering wheel, frustrated, disgusted with what's
Caution
just
is
happened.
out.
He was running on 11th.
Man, that was a huge impact. We have seen
That,
over the years.
he got hit hard, man.
Some just massive, massive wrecks.
Well, we saw the speeds over
Game
190
over
miles an hour by some.
for Austin Dillon.
Let's take a look at what happens.
3 wide down into 1. That's Austin on the inside, and Austin's in the middle. Just comes down the racetrack into the 45 of Reddick.
I'd like to get another look at that. It almost looked like Austin didn't know he was there, but Right. That was just the first glance at it.
Man, Dylan hit the wall hard, man.
Yeah, I think he's expecting maybe that Reddick's going to be lower on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's two guys just going for the same piece of asphalt.
Man.
Used to be teammates at RCR.
Man, hit the wall hard, man. Damn. That had to wake his ass up.
Now, and now Austin just along for the ride. There's nothing he can do. Locks it down. Big hit.
Oh, helmet thrown at Reddick.
Whoa.
Angry. And I can see his argument.
He threw his helmet at Reddick.
Reddick saying, hey, man, I felt like you crowded me on entry, but it's such a dangerous entry at high speed. You've got to have a little give and take there. Or that'll be the result, right?
So Dylan wasn't really happy with Reddick there.
Down into the corner.
So,
and going into turn one from where we are, spotters are just above us, 3,000 feet away, down into turn one, going away from you. So I don't think the spotter. That's a call, in my opinion, you guys as drivers need to make.
Exactly.
I'm not sure I can help you. I might tell you, hey, man, listen, 45's in there, can't tell, and you have to decide whether that guy's going to give you the spot or not. Obviously, by Austin's reaction, he had a clear opinion on what should have happened.
Yeah, they both know. Everybody knows where each other is at this moment, and it is on the drivers to sort this out, as you point out. The three coming down the racetrack. And he's coming down into the line.
Three's coming down, man. I don't know, man.
I know he's upset about Reddick turning him there, but he steers down the racetrack.
I mean, three came down on 45. I mean,
ouch.
So I'm with you. I really want to hear what Austin has to say when he's out of the infield care center, because visually, the 45 is a long ways up the door of the three. I feel he is in position. Now, we don't know how he got there. Like, what did he do? To get into that position.
Tough, man. I don't know. It looks like the three came down on the 45, man.
Cars on pit road, Marty.
Yeah, you're going to see Ryan Blaney come down pit road, a host of others here as well, taking advantage of this. That will make their next stop a little bit shorter for Ryan Blaney and Jonathan Hassler. And you see Brian Kozlowski on pit road.
Three kind of came down on the 45, and the 45 kind of,
through all the maps, Steve,
pit maneuvered them,
on the car,
and he spun them out.
For Ryan Blaney, so how long could that last for Blaney for the rest of the race with 53 to go?
Well, rarely do they fix themselves. Let's listen in. Just listen to what it sounds like.
Doesn't sound right.
No. So here's the situation. It's very simple. This is an electronics. Remember, this is electronic.
Yeah, the 12 car. Something wrong with the 12 car.
You can reset it.
It don't sound right.
If it's a spark and fuel situation, that can be reset by the computer.
That don't sound right.
But Junior, if it's your point, valve spring broke a valve, it's dropped down, a rocker, something in the upper part of the engine. It's going to last until they take that thing out and send it back to Roush Yates and rebuild it, because it's broken. It's an unfortunate day for the 12, but I think it just proves how hard. Like speed, we talk about speed. How do you find speed?
The 12 car, it just sounds bad.
Assumptions, because we don't know what's going on, but we do know that Ford
and the 3 car is demolished.
Yates and Roush, they've been working really hard on creating more power, and when you do that, it does get dangerous to break in. We don't know that's what happened, but you get aggressive, things happen.
Big hit here for Dylan.
Yeah. So Dylan is out the race.
Slamming passenger side into the turn one
and
wall.
He was unhappy with the 45 car, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It seemed like the 3 car came down on the 45. I don't know. Just me. Go back. 4:14. I mean, it ain't even 5 o'clock yet. You out there like, I think it's raining, man. What's up, Jared? Yeah, Austin Dillon threw his helmet. He was unhappy. Oh, hello, Remy. Hello. I don't want no ton now. No ton. No ton. It's not time for dinner time either yet. It's about another hour. So you better go check your clock. Check your clock. All right, so let's get back to racing here as we're getting back from commercial break.
Very scary crash between Ryan Preece and the 5 of Kyle Larson. On board, watch this. Now we're going to take a look at the driver of Preece. Watch the hit he takes. And then the result of the 5 car. The hole in the right side. Door bars. You see through the right side. So NASCAR made much improvements to the rear of the car over the winter. They said, we're not done. We're going to make changes middle of the season if necessary. One big change implemented at Atlanta, the right side. The left side had it. The right side now has it. That boilerplate, solid.
Yeah, he's got to check his clock. It's not 5 o'clock yet. So it's 4:11.
Just took. Also in the front, this upper square
4:11.
gone completely. The red V behind it, also gone. They want more areas to crush, so we're going to go in. We're actually going to remove an entire bar. A piece of 2x3 between the uprights gone. The things that are left, they have to be there. We're going to put some slots, some holes, allow things to crush easier and better. Remember, the drivers say, hey, I know how you design it, but we're feeling this. They even went to the front bumper, which is aluminum, and put different slots in that, in all an attempt to deform, right? And when you look at this 3 impact, it is violent.
Man.
Right rear, right side.
Amazing
right
what
front,
how they make these
hit.
cars
look at that car.
as safe as
That's how we want
possible.
them to look, right? We wanted them to fold up, take some of that load away from the driver.
Crazy,
so
man.
many impacts that we have
It's crazy
seen
how these cars now,
especially last year, resulted in drivers that had to sit out.
Look how fast they're going, like 190
and so NASCAR
miles an hour,
and tried to make it
and they get in a wreck and they survive.
Still, you have to remember, this is a very dangerous sport. These cars are going 190 miles an hour. And back to
here we go, green flag racing.
Martin Truex Jr. in the 19. He is on the outside. William Byron on the inside, trying
50
to
go
to hold on to that second spot. He's lost spots on restarts.
4 wide in the backside of the top 20 there, Rick. Now down to 3 wide. Little contact. Car's getting off of turn 2.
Byron now with a little bit of a shove. Ty Gibbs pushing him into the tunnel turn.
Denny back here on the inside of the 9 of Chase Elliott. Trying to stay there off the tunnel, can't do it. Now, Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs going at it.
2 Toyotas fighting for position.
Ty's going to try to stay there, Bubba up the racetrack. Ty's going to keep that car on the outside and have the momentum down this long straightaway.
Bubba gives the spot up, rolls in behind him to keep the
Truex
guys
out in
behind
front.
him catching up to him.
All about Byron and Gibbs and Wallace.
Austin Dillon out of the care center got caught up in an incident after having a great run today. We saw the displeasure with Tyler Reddick. What happened and what message were you trying to send him?
That I was mad. I don't know. I heard Junior's replay said that I came down a little bit. I felt like I was holding my own. He was at my left rear going in there. I knew we were 3 wide. I think I've got the right to at least hold my lane. I mean, I got to turn at some point to get down. Brad's on my outside, maybe a half lane up. But Tyler drove it in there. Obviously, I feel like he drove it in deep enough where he had to come up the track into me. We can look at the SMT and see the little fine movements that we make, but felt like that was not the time to do that when in the 45. Hated for our breast-free team. We really sucked at the beginning of the race. We got the car much better.
Hope everybody stays safe at all times.
But, you know, we just lived to fight another day, I guess. That was pretty rough hit, but, yeah.
Was the helmet throw enough, or do you need to talk to Tyler?
No, I just need to start wrecking some people.
There you have it. Austin Dillon not happy.
Austin Dillon not happy.
It's an interesting opinion. Junior, you already had your analysis of it.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm not going to tell him he's wrong. He's the guy that rode the car into the fence at 190 miles an hour, but I will say that You know, I thought the 45 it wasn't like a last-minute dive bomb. He was kind of there for the majority of the straightaway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
not going to be the last two drivers that debate about real estate in turn one. Maybe not the last
I don't know, man. Dylan kind of went down on the 45. I mean,
Brett Keselowski taking the short line around there, and Justin Haley in the 31 on the outside of him.
Let's talk about.
I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, they're going 190 miles an hour, so I mean, any subtle movement's going to cause a wreck. But it just seemed like to me that Austin Dillon got down on the 45 and spun himself around. But I don't know, man.
But right now they're kind of going.
I mean, they're going so fast, man. It's hard. I mean, they're going 190 miles an hour.
Is there any way that they could go all the way to the end of this stage? I mean, it's saving fuel. They're going to have to stop again. You had mentioned earlier 38 to 42.
Just one subtle movement, man, is going to spin you out.
It's just not going to be a very long
at that speed.
So you hope it happens
so,
where you can make up a lot of run. I think
I kind of disagree a little bit with. I kind of disagree with Dylan a little bit on that.
Car looks great, has tons of speed as he kind of turns to the bottom of the four, but it's just so hard to work your way through traffic.
And he's been trying to pass Harvick for.
I get why he's frustrated.
Now. We saw them racing really hard many laps ago, and Denny's back again at the back bumper of this Hunt Brothers Pizza camera. As we look back on the 11, he dives down into the turn one. Harvick to the bottom of the track. Parker, what you got?
Now keep your eye on them because Hamlin was not happy with Kevin Harvick after they raced that side-by-side and for those many laps, and Harvick just would not let him go. And as you're seeing here, Steve, you pointed out, the 11's been able to move through the field since restarting back at 16th, and they had to make that pit stop. And Chris Gabehart sort of sold them on it by saying you're going to have 12-lap newer tires and a lot more fuel than the cars in front of you. We can still get to the front of this race. He's showing that with that fast race car to drive it into the top 10 and be knocking the door of the 4 car right there.
Well, one reason Denny Hamlin's frustrated is a little with Kevin Harvick. It's going to be a little bit with himself. Let's just be fair. The end of stage one, Martin Truex Jr. was second, Denny Hamlin was third. So we're on the same pit strategy. It was when Hamlin didn't wait on gas. Parker showed it live. It was so well done by Parker saying, hey, the 11's messed up. He's short on gas. They've been playing catch-up. That forced this extra pit stop. And deep down, Hamlin knows he could be Truex up there leading that race, and now he gets to the outside of the 4.
And that's the lane he wants. He wants to be on the outside. He knew how hard it was to pass on the inside. Easily gets around Harvick. Now he carries on, takes the fight up here to Buescher in 6th place.
And if he was frustrated, he waved. When he went by Harvick there, he did some hand out and wave.
Well, you become less frustrated when you pass the guy you're mad at. that tends to make you happy, yeah. That's just hard racing, though. Nobody did anything wrong there. It's hard to pass at this racetrack. When somebody holds you up, you get frustrated, but that's why it's fun to watch. And actually, it's why it's fun to do. I mean, if it was easy to pass somebody, everybody can do it. That's why these are the best in the business.
But you can see how good this 11 car is and how much distance he's put on the 4 car. Driving right up to the back bumper of the 17 now. Trying to take that position here as he goes off into turn 1. Then he down to the inside.
Buescher and Hamlin battling for 6.
Right on his back bumper as they go through 1. It's Martin Truex Jr. who's out front.
All right, we're going to go to a commercial. Hamlin should give Harvick the bird. He probably did. He probably did. Go back. They probably do give him the bird when they drive around the track. NASCAR. All right, non-stop. So we're lap what 119 of 160. All right. So Truex, Byron, and Gibbs there's your top three so far in this race. But something tells me we're gonna have another caution or two before this race ends. We gotta have a caution or two, right? I mean, just gotta have one. Who's coming to the pits? That's 48.
Back at Pocono, 41 laps to go in the race, and here come the final stops of the day. Blake Harris making the call for Alex Bowman to bring him to pit road here. It's going to be fuel in the Goodyear tires, and they hope the fuel to make it to the very end. You're going to see a lot of teams scramble now for that final stop of the day to try and get to the end of this race.
And a lot of ingredients are going into the soup here, Rick. Now you have to be good on and off pit road, but also how much fuel do you need? How many tires are you going to take? I expect to see 4 tires for most everybody up front, but some of these other drivers with a little bit bigger fuel load, maybe like LaJoy, Stenhouse, Keselowski at the bottom, they might be gas only, so it's really going to mix up the entire running order. Here we go. We got William Byron on pit road now, kind of the first of the top 3. And the reason you pit right away, even if you could run a couple laps, is you don't want the caution to come out, because then that would mess you up. Parker.
Chris Buescher is one of those that now decides to come pit road in that 17 from the top 10. A solid run for them throughout this race, as you'll see those 4 tires go on and fill it full of fuel, Marty.
William Byron, pit stall number 1, so the balance is really close. I need a little more front grip, especially through the tunnel turn. You see Buescher on the top of your screen making his stop. Austin Cindric also on pit road. This will be interesting because Cindric and also Brad Keselowski, who are here, needed fuel only. So we'll see if they gain some track position through that move.
Well, Brad was putting 4 tires on. I thought fuel only as well, Marty. I was right on board with you. All right, here comes the leader, the 19 of Truex.
Chase Elliott also making his way onto pit road. Parker.
I see the 23 of Bubba Wallace who hit out of the top 5. A stellar run coming together for them as a huge strategy to get to that track position, but most importantly, just had a fast car in that 23. Just a little tight, but they've been working on it and starting to free him up. There's top of your screen. You see Chase Elliott also on pit road to this strategy, Marty.
Martin Truex Jr. was leading for much of that run, Parker. Said I could stand to be just a little bit more aggressive with the throttle on exit, waiting on fuel. Truex revving the engine, saying, hey, I'm ready to go. We'll see when he cycles out.
Well, we're going to see Truex blending off from pit road. The 5 of Kyle Larson, the first car to have service and fuel. The 5 of Kyle Larson pits at lap 120 for 2 tires, and now he is going to assume the lead of this race through the cycle. Big move by the 5 of Larson, 19 of Truex, 48 of Bowman. Now we have Ty Gibbs on pit road.
And Ty had no major complaints about the car, said, I still feel like I can push it when I want to. As you see the right side tires going on, they'll take a tear off, and they will take 4 tires on this green flag stop to give them just a little bit of an advantage, they think.
Right now Ty Gibbs is thinking, I want to get in front of the 5. You see it up here on the top of your screen, right on the shape of the track. The 5's on the front stretch, 54. Oh, this one's not going to be close. Kyle Larson easily is going to pass the 54. What a call by Cliff Daniels to come in, take 2 tires, short work on pit road. And Kyle Larson has leapfrogged to control of the race. He's not leading. He's in the 14th position, but confidently in front of him, everyone needs fuel. So he absolutely is the leading car that we think can make it to the finish.
Wow.
What of the strategy comes into play as far as the guys who came on lap 109 or 107?
His strategy might pay off.
The ones that are just in front of him.
Well, your fear right now is a caution coming out, so you don't want to wait too long, but you're going to run a little bit to give yourself a bank in case there's a green-white checker. We've seen multiple. You have enough fuel. You also, maybe, now that you see how you've cycled out, 2 tires, gas only, you have an idea what math you're working with. You kind of have the questions on the SAT. You didn't know what test you were taking, now you have them, like right here.
Kim.
And just fuel for Chase Briscoe. You saw him wait there.
So Briscoe just takes
not
fuel.
changing tires on that.
I always did better at tests I knew the questions to, Rick.
Well, now everybody knows the questions.
Well, now for Hamlin, he's just trying to run as fast as possible. He just ran a 53.8 leading this race. Now he comes to pit road. So it's kind of like an overcut, right? Run fast with no traffic. Let's see what him and Harvick do and see where they blend. Kim.
And here is Kevin Harvick. Typically, he likes to take 4 tires, but I'm hearing the call is going to be 2 tires, right side only for Kevin Harvick.
2 tires, right side only for Harvick?
It is.
Yeah.
2 tires for Kevin Harvick, Parker.
There's 2 tires for Harvick.
Hamlin also on pit road. That was the key there, right? And he was going to turn
And Hamlin only takes 2 tires.
Well, waiting on that fuel.
All right, so the 11 holds serve of these 2, but this 2 tires, Kyle Larson by us at the front stretch.
Strategy.
Let's see what the 5 and the 11 do. The 11's leading. I don't think he's going to have enough speed. If he does, Larson is barely going to sneak by. Now the 11 is trying to get right up to momentum.
Damn.
2 car lengths is the only gap the 5 now has over the 11. Now Denny knows this in his mind is for the race win.
Remember, Larson's on 2 tires as well. Denny on fresh 2 tires, so he needs to know that. He needs to know.
36 to
go
go.
offense right here. Take advantage of the newer tires. Try to get
36
by
to
him
go.
right now.
So how did this all happen? Well, the 5 was 11th, 7 seconds back, but he only had a 4.5-second pit stop for 2 tires. The 19 had a over 12-second pit stop for 4 tires. That is how this has got jumbled up. 35 to go. Larson, Hamlin, and Truex is back there thinking to himself, what happened? I was leading. What happened? And I don't think the 19 did anything wrong. Let's be honest. I think they're calling a great race.
We see Larson is running in the 10th spot right now, and that's because all 9 spots in front of him will have to come to pit road for fuel before the end of this race.
And to compare lap times between Larson, the 11, and Truex, Larson quicker right there that last time by. So Truex with those tires isn't easily tracking down this 5 car.
Larson had the fastest lap last time by. Truex was 2nd fastest, and Ty Gibbs had the 3rd fastest lap. Gibbs is back there in 16th.
And so far, this 11 hasn't been able to really eat into the deficit between him and the 5 cars. Pretty much stay the same since they come off pit road. Larson has nothing but clean air in front of him for many laps, so he's taking advantage of that as well.
Wow, and those 3 just ran 53.6s. It is time to go. So that's why Reddick, Jones, Stenhouse, LaJoy, Burton, Almirola, Gilliland, even Yaley, the reason we're not mentioning their names is because they're losing about a 1/2 second a lap to these cars. We're confident they can't make it on fuel.
All right.
The cars they were racing, though, remember they were racing for 20 or 22nd, whatever. They're not losing pace to them because all those cars are in a bunch, and they're going actually a little bit slower. So those guys now are in clean air. Although they may not be racing for the win, it may help them gain some spots to get a better finish.
It's a great point. We talk a lot about the race win, but if you're Jones or Stenhouse, LaJoy, this could easily improve yourself 5 or 7 spots in the final running order.
All right, guys, let's go through the field. Brought to you by eBay. Parker, we're going to start with you.
Right now in the front of this field is Tyler Reddick, but this race has really gotten away from this 45 team, similar to other races we've heard from them over the last 6 races, where they've just had certain things pop up, like that incident there with Austin Dillon. At the beginning of the race, the car wasn't quite where Tyler wanted, so they lost a couple positions early, and it just hasn't been a smooth race for them, and now they find themselves in a position where they will have to pit again. They cannot make it from here in that 45, Marty.
Same for Eric Jones, who sits in the 2nd position. It's been a much better 6 to last 7 weeks for this 43 team, trying to find some momentum. Dave Evans has
45
kept
and
them
43
out since
gonna have to
lap
pit.
90. That was their last stop.
So,
Clearly, Eric Jones will not be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. sitting up in 3rd right now? Mike Kelly's got him in an interesting spot. They're thinking fuel only with about 14 to go. We'll see where all that cycles out, but Stenhouse has never finished in the top 10 here at Pocono. Could it happen today, Kim?
Well, Corey LaJoy runs in the 4th position. They will have to stop again for fuel, but Corey had a great weekend.
Here's LaJoy.
He transferred to the 2nd round of qualifying for the first time in his career, and he called that a small win. And
Here's
that's what
LaJoy.
his team is looking for, a small win. Corey LaJoy reporting tight on that machine right now. He's running right in front of Harrison Burton. I talked to the team this morning. Crew Chief Brian Wilson told me it is all about learning. We are in a learning stage, and what we need to do to learn is we need to complete all the laps here. Harrison complaining of lack of overall grip, just a little bit free in turns 1 and 3. Parker.
And for Eric Almirola in that 10 car this weekend started a bit awry as they were very loose in the start of practice and through qualifying. They've worked on that race car as much as they could and they've used great strategy to get track position here. Also pitting at lap 107 as you see that for the 10 running 6 and trying to make something of a weekend that really started with
30 to go.
Very loose inside
Next
the race
time
car.
around.
And you see now Gilliland in the 38. He had an incident in qualifying, had to start from the rear of the field. Obviously, strategy putting him out in the top 10. They will have to pit again to
Hey, what's up, Butterfly? How you doing, buddy?
Gilliland just saying the biggest struggle right now has been the handling throughout the day. Great run, though, running in the top 10.
Hello, Butterfly.
In front of J.J. Yaley in the 8th position. J.J., what a rebound. He had that early spin. Right now, just complaining a little bit, lacking lateral grip on that machine.
30 to go.
Kim Ryan Blaney's in the 9th spot, dealing with that down a cylinder situation, trying to limp it home.
He is down. Okay, Ryan Blaney is down.
At this point, or right now, riding on board with the Advanced Auto Parts camera, you can clearly hear the engine, not what Blaney needs right now, hoping to limp it home, Kim.
And Kyle Larson, they feel very confident about their chances, knowing the cars in front of them have to pit for fuel. Crew Chief Cliff Daniels did the math before these green flags stopped and assured his driver, we are in a prime position. What a rebound for Kyle Larson after an early incident and having to fix that car, Parker.
And you can say the same about Denny Hamlin.
Kyle Larson might be smelling like a rose in a minute.
Not getting that car full, and now being positioned to fighting for this win. The team has told them that the 5 in front of him could be very close on fuel to still push and try and get by him, but to know that he is very close on fuel.
Growing larger in his mirror is his teammate Martin Truex Jr. James Small keeps telling him the tires will win out here. He's clearly very quick. He has those 4 fresh tires versus the 2 that are in front of him with Larson and Hamlin. Can Truex win back-to-back races for just a second
Someone
time in his
rub
career?
LaJoy.
Behind them, let's give a tip of the cap to Alex Bowman, Blake Harris.
LaJoy is going to have to pit for gas, so LaJoy's not going to. LaJoy's not going to finish in the top 10. Probably not. I don't know.
Return from his injury. Rick earlier today asked Alex,
He's got a
how have
pit.
you been feeling? He said, honestly, I'm still not 100%. A little north of 90%, but Bowman could be looking at his first top 10 since breaking his back earlier this year.
Yeah, and that was not in sprint car, or the Cup car, excuse me. That was running a sprint car away from the racetrack for Alex Bowman. Now, Bowman came in earlier than everybody else. Will he be close on fuel? Is he kind of testing the limits?
Well, he came at 119, 41 laps. I assume that the plan was to pit once they were inside their window, so we're going to assume they can make it. Maybe he's banking on a yellow or two. We'll just have to see. There's still 28 to go, so a lot of racing. We'll see what kind of fuel situation he ends up in.
Out in front, it's Tyler Reddick. He has about a 3.5-second lead over Eric Jones, but Reddick all the way down to Yaley. The top 8 still have to pit.
You don't have to.
The top 8 still has to pit. So if you're in the top 8 right now, you're gonna have to pit if you're in the top 8 right now. So if you're Reddick, Jones, Stenhouse, LaJoy, Burton, Almirola, Gillian, Yaley, you're gonna have to pit. You're gonna have to pit. So I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick and enjoy these last few laps. Alright, we still on the green? Yeah. We're still on the green, alright. We still got Reddick out in front, but Jones and Stenhouse. But those three guys are gonna have to pit. Those three guys have got to pit. So, they can't make it. They can't make it on gasoline. They're gonna have to pit. So we'll see when they decide to pull the trigger and pit. The 43 car is in the pits. So Joy's now 7th.
It's going to be fast, loud, and definitely a party when IndyCar races on the streets of Nashville. That's Sunday, August 6th. Coverage on NBC and Peacock. Coming off a very successful weekend. The doubleheader in Iowa. Out in front, still Reddick, but we know he will have to come to pit road. Larson has made his way up to 7th now, but he's getting a lot of pressure from the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
19-2 closing in on this battle. Consistently running just a little bit quicker.
Bubba Wallace is like in 19th place,
he moves
man.
down low, and that tells me he's struggling in traffic. He's struggling running that same groove.
Bubba Wallace is in 19th place.
He's having to look around to find some clean air for the nose of that car. This is going to be really, really hard to do in terms of any of these guys making a pass, and I love it. It's a challenge, and they're the best, and I want to see them in some of the toughest situations. And this is one of them. So get him a little bit quicker. He got real close to the 5. Now he's backed off a little bit, maybe giving himself an opportunity to cool his tires. Can he make another run? When he does, he'll only have a few corners to pull something off before he cooks the front tires and has to back off again.
Well, you mentioned tires. Just a reminder,
23 to go.
Larson is on 2 tires. Hamlin is on 2 tires. That's how they leapfrogged in front of Truex. Truex, who was the leader before the cycle, took 4 tires, filled it up with fuel. So he does have a tire advantage and 23 laps. But I agree, Dale, it's still a tall task to get in front of these 2 cars in front of him. Denny looking like he can't get back to this 5, and it's giving Truex this opportunity here. See the 45 of Reddick coming to pit road, the leader of the race, Parker.
Right, they finally said mercy on this one as far as they could on that fuel tank. Maybe
so
they
the
could have
45 is in the pits.
Had some cars in the back pit and had the restart in the top
Reddick,
20, but
he
not
couldn't go anymore. He had to
see
come.
the 45 Tyler Reddick on pit road, getting those 4 tires and filling it full of fuel as this has not panned out how they wanted. They'll lose a ton of track position here. Well, let's see where he comes out. Remember, he's going to come
the 45 comes out
tires, new tires.
Truex right on the back bumper of that 11 car. Down into turn 1, they're side by side. He won't be able to stay there to be able to side draft the quarter panel down this back straightaway. Falls right back in the line. 11. Denny almost in the fence off of turn 1. Pushing as hard as he can.
So Joy out in front, but he's got a pit.
Then Hamlin. Hamlin's going to have to be in full defense mode. Truex knows he needs to get by him as quick as possible because he still has to go up there.
Right now, to you.
There's a little radio communication there about, hey, when he gets that close, he loses the car.
Harrison Burton on pit road.
Harrison Burton in the pit.
These cars that are in front of Larson are continuing to make their way onto pit road. So now it's LaJoie, Almirola, and Gilliland, the only 3 cars that are in front of Larson.
To your point, Rick, and what
so
Jeff was saying
LaJoie out in front.
Stenhouse is now at 17th.
Steve.
He'll move up to 16th. Eric Jones will move up to 18th. Those are cars that
LaJoie's out in
they
front.
ran long. They're going to put some fresh tires on and try to improve their position. I mean, they have 21 laps.
You get those 5 bonus points.
Those fresher tires are going to, definitely make work for him.
Here's Larson working by slower traffic.
Dale, you and I had this conversation after the Xfinity Series race. I know I take for granted how good these 3 are. Just
closing out races. Think about Larson. He for sure isn't probably as fast as the 11 and the 19, but he hasn't missed 6 inches, right? He has shut the door every single corner for the last 15 laps, and he's going to have to do 60 more perfect corners to stay in front of these two.
Yeah, it's impressive how elite they are as drivers and athletes. You see the lap car pointing by Denny Hamlin down to the inside of turn 1. Truex is going to want that same opportunity here for corner exit. But it's, you see the same guys finish these races out week in and week out. It's
LaJoie's going to pit coming up soon.
Understanding throughout the entire event where you are, who you're racing. We heard some great commentary from the 12-car Blaney. Do I race hard? Do I pass this car? Do I sit here? He's in tune with his crew chief, trying to figure out how hard to push his car and take care of it to get it to the finish line. And now we see these 3 guys here trying to battle it out for the win. Kim.
Kyle Larson currently running in that 4th position with word from the team that the 3 cars in front of you have to pit. And we went over in our through the field the fact that Cliff Daniels did the math, told his driver they were going to be in the prime position to be out front after green flag stops. And that plays exactly into what Cliff Daniels told me this morning. He said it does not matter what happens to you throughout the race. This is a track where you always have a chance. You are never out of it. Proving it here today, he got into an early incident, now finds himself after the first 3 cars pit at the point, Parker.
Right, the driver
Kyle Larson should be in first place once LaJoie, Gillian, and Almirola will pit.
Small adjustments. Chris Gabehart asked him maybe what would help you in traffic. He said, I still need to be snugger, but as I watch him here following that 5 and now starting to lose a little bit of distance to that 5, it just looks like he's been struggling to get that car to go to a different groove and work for him, aside from being able to get some clean air and get by that 5 car. So right now, just not having the handling he wants inside the 11 car to go challenge the 5.
Yeah, if you haven't done so, make sure you smash the like button. We're at 29 likes,
right here. So
almost one more to 30.
Truex Jr.
If you haven't done so,
no grip at all once he gets up behind his teammate Denny Hamlin. And he made the comment that when I get close to those cars in front of me, I'm just burning the fronts off my car. Clearly, that tire advantage, Jeff, has gone now. Remember, they took 4 for Truex on that last stop. So how do you not burn the front tires off of it, but also try to get by your teammate and Kyle
18 to go.
All you can do is try to run a different line than they're running, trying to get clean air on that race car, but you got to push. You got to try, be in that throttle, push it hard.
Caution's out.
Caution's out. Oh, 14 spins out.
Briscoe is around. He came out
Caution's out.
4 or 3, and around he went.
Caution's out.
There'll be another restart, and we have seen chaos on restarts today.
Wow, pretty heavy damage to the back of that car.
14 spins out.
Been a tough day for Chase and this team. They were running 30th, just have not had the speed.
So Chase Briscoe spins out, and caution is out.
They were hoping
now.
that was going to be the moment, right, where the field seems kind of flip. Let's just take a look. Oh boy. Oh, wow.
Wait. Who?
Looks like you got a little help there from the 77.
The 77 hit him behind. He rubbed him. The 77 rubbed him.
Yeah, there's definitely. Yes. That definitely.
The 77 rubbed his ass.
Going on during the lap.
We jumped to like chapter 2 of that book. There's a chapter 1 somewhere. We're going to have to go find it. Now with 17 to go, you see the damage, right? LaJoie and Almirola have to pit, and Gilliland, because they need fuel. I assume Larson, Hamlin, Truex are going to keep the track position, but somewhere back there, someone thinks tires are going to be an advantage. And you got Stenhouse and Eric Jones that ran long. Reddick ran long. The reason I say that, they have pretty fresh tires. Like Reddick's only been on the racetrack for basically 4 or 5 laps, so, we're going to have to, this will definitely jumble up the order a little bit. I don't think it will change for the 5, the 11, and the 19. And then I have 0 predictions on the restart because I've seen Byron lose the lead twice on restarts, and we couldn't even get stage 2 going because they kept wrecking.
Well, remember, Kyle Larson was running second when he spun on a restart and slid up the racetrack in turn number 1. So the top 3, LaJoie, Almirola, and Gilliland, we will anticipate their trip onto pit road right there. And that now puts the lead back in the hands of Kyle Larson as they get ready for the restart.
17 to go.
Kim.
You see Corey
Pits coming
LaJoy in
up.
that 7 car. He was complaining of a tight condition.
There's
you see
LaJoy.
the chassis
There's Steve's favorite driver,
That
LaJoy.
wrench going in. They'll change 4 tires, take Sunoco fuel as they make that quick adjustment.
So a lot of cars in the pits.
Also
so,
on pit road here, you see Chase Elliott in the 9 cars. You see a lot of the field in the back coming down to put 4 tires on. Maybe tires mattering more than it looked like earlier in this race, Marty.
Interesting call by Rudy Fugle here. This is what happens when you have 4 wins in the bank. Right, Steve? You come down pit road here. I believe he was running 4th at the time. Talked about how tough the handling is when he's back in traffic. We'll see what those 4 fresh Goodyear tires do, though. This is
hey,
interesting.
Rick,
Certainly
thank you
changed
for
up the
becoming a
game
member of
here
the channel.
with 16 to go.
Yeah, we're going to cycle this all around and kind of reset the field.
So Rick just became a member of the channel. Thank you very much, Rick.
I was trying to do the math quickly there, but about 14, which gives these guys a little bit of a cushion on those fresh tires.
I just use the old, I'm just going to let it cycle back around and let the timing screen tell me, Rick. I'm not going to try to pretend that I can count that fast anymore. I know who did stay out, and that's, Larson. You see him right there in the 5 on 2 tires. I think cooling will help those 2 tires. Hamlin, those 2 tires cooling off. Truex is hoping to get a good
Larson's
start.
out in front. Amaroli is in second. Then Hamlin, Truex, Bowman, Harvick, Gibbs, Reddick, Byron, Stenhouse.
Good.
They're your
on
top
4
10.
tires as well. So Kevin Harvick, he's on 2 tires, right? And this is a guy looking for a win in his. You said it right on the walk of the grid, Jeff. Right? He's looking for a win in his final year.
Yeah, you know how bad he wants it. He's super competitive. I mean, in his last year, he still has that same competitive
Who's going to win this race at the end here?
He wants to make some stuff happen. You know he's going to be pushing the buttons.
All right, while we have a break in the action, let's check in on the Peacock Pit Box with Kyle Petty. Okay, Kyle Larson is going to be up front. KP, are we going to see Kyle Larson get to victory lane, or is he going to have a little trouble maybe with the 2 guys that have been battling the tightest behind him?
It's all about the restarts. We're back
all
to the
about
restarts.
the restart, right, Kyle Petty? All about the restart.
We've seen William Byron lose the lead on a couple of restarts, so that's going to be critical. But listen, Kyle Larson's day, he's already a winner. Remember, he's setting backwards in the wall earlier in the race, where he just got up against it, where he got respun right there. You look at that. I applaud Cliff Daniels. Cliff Daniels has done a tremendous job on numerous
Kyle Larson spun out earlier.
Kyle Larson.
And now he's in first place.
Having an early accident, keeping his nose down, picking up a different strategy, playing that strategy out, and beating these other guys. This has been the perfect day for these guys to be able to be off kilter just a little bit
Super Chat.
and put themselves in position to win, Marty.
KP, let's chat with James Small, trying to win back-to-back races for Martin Truex Jr. Does this caution help or hurt you?
I actually think it helps us. It's obviously we drove up
I
to
know.
the
It's a
there
strategy
just
sometimes
get
getting 2
anywhere.
tires.
So at least this kind of lets us
to get you
reset
faster
here and maybe
out
get a
the
run
pits.
out of turn 1, and we started to get a little bit tight
Rick
there,
gave us
so,
a $10,
just following
actually
so
a
much,
super
so I think
sticker
allowed
was
us to
actually
pull
called,
back down
but
and maybe go at it again.
Just a good time to remind Martin it took 3 restarts at the end of the race last week, or on Monday, I should say, to win it.
Yeah, actually it is, so I might well do that.
There you go, James Small.
Yeah, they do that for like track position. You get 2 tires and 4 tires and stuff like that.
Can they get back-to-back wins? We'll find out.
And the crew chief for Denny Hamlin, Chris Gabehart here. You guys got off strategy a little bit by going too early in one of the stops, so you covered here to be in 2nd place. A great recovery for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever got off strategy. There were stage points out there and a stage win to go get, and we pit on the number that we wanted to pit on, so we had this option for later. I mean, it was all laying there, fortunately. The tough thing about Pocono is sometimes you get whammied on something you weren't expecting, but honestly, this played out right like we hoped.
And do you guys have
Larson,
the car
Hamlin, Truex, Bowman, and Harvick.
Whoever's got the
They're
clean
your
air
top
is
5.
king, man. Hopefully
Chevy,
we can get it.
Toyota, Chevy, and
Cliff Daniels
Ford.
calls the shots for Kyle
Can
Larson. At the
Harvick-
beginning of the day, you said you're never out of it at
Can
Pocono.
Harvick be first on race day?
What are you telling your
with
driver
the
on this
Ford?
restart?
Yeah,
and get the victory lane, we'll see.
Day than what we would have liked, but the HinderCars.com Chevrolet team, they've done a great
got
job
15 to go
Obviously,
in
Kyle's
this
done a great
race.
job on the track.
14 to go.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll be taking the green with 13 to go here. I think our car's okay. Obviously, us and the 11 are on rights, and we got a bunch of guys on 4, but nobody else you'd rather have in your seat right now than Kyle Larson, and we're just going to go for it.
A lot of confidence from Cliff Daniels and his driver and what he's able to do on this restart.
Interesting right
A restart
here.
as
Watching the choose, Rick. The teammates, Joe Gibbs' teammates split up. Then he goes to the bottom.
pace car
to
about
the
to
top.
duck off.
The pushers in lane 2 and even in lane 3 we've seen today are critical. If you can connect 3 cars, it's better than 2.
which lane can do that.
So we're gonna have a
connected all the way down
mad
to turn one.
dash to the finish.
So how selfish
We're
are
gonna
you
have
going
like
to be?
13
Because
to
that's
go next time
ultimately what
around.
ends up happening here when you have Larson with a Truex behind him and Hamlin with a Bowman behind him. Those two guys are wanting to win this race.
Well, you also have 13 laps to go. We take the green, and I'm not, I do agree that clean air is king, but let's not forget that you got the group right here, Reddick, down to Harrison. They have fresher tires. Then behind them you have Gregson, Bell.
So Truex and Bowman have 4 tires on the last pit stop. Larson and Hamlin only took 2.
But those pushes,
So
Dale, can really affect us. Let's listen into the 11.
Look at how rough, by the way, that tunnel turn is. Man.
Awful.
So the last 2 restarts, the bottom front row has cleared.
hello, Rick. With the he flashed the LSU emoji.
That's what we were thinking about.
Thank you, Rick, for becoming a member, and then the $10 super chat.
2 by 2.
All right, here we go. We're gonna go to racing here.
On the outside, Denny Hamlin on the inside. Hamlin is a 6-time.
And we're gonna have 13 to go next time
Larson
around.
has finished second twice.
Hopefully, we get 13 laps of green racing.
Into the gas they go. 13 laps to go at Pocono.
Good push on the outside. You see it. Bowman not able to get to the back of Denny Hamlin.
Damn,
they're going
going-
to lose a few spots before they get to turn 1.
Oh, check it up in the outside lane. Ty Gibbs had a little bit of issue
Turn
there.
1 and 2, man, that's crazy. Turn 1 and 2.
3 wide back
As
there for
Larson
6th.
pulls out in front.
Reddick right in the middle of that. Sandwich.
Oh, running.
Contact
Oh.
back there. Things get
Oh
dicey in the
man,
back.
almost had
Truex
a
Jr. up
almost
to
a
second
wreck.
now.
Man,
Still 3 wide as they go through the tunnel turn.
man.
Not very often do you see that happen here at Pocono.
Not successfully.
Through 3, and they stay 3 wide. Out in front, coming up on 12 to go. 2
Larson
car
out in
lengths
front.
separating the top 2, Larson and Truex Jr.
So now Truex is in second place. Doesn't have the car of Denny Hamlin between him and the lead car. That would have been much dirtier air than what he's undergoing right here. But he needs to attack. He needs to attack while he can.
12 to go.
Every corner that goes by is better for Larson. That's going to heat those front tires on that 19, as we've heard, and get that car tighter and tighter, make it harder and harder for Truex to put any runs together. And the 5 car just needs to concentrate on corner exit. He has the dirty air to his advantage. Make sure you exit the corner. Don't worry about charging the entry. Give up a little bit on entry if you need to. Just to throttle up and beat the car behind you off the corner all the way down the straightaway.
Oh, around goes a car.
Oh, there's a wreck. That's the 48 car. Caution's out. Caution is out with the 9th caution is a 48. Bowman spins out.
And around he
Oh,
went.
lordy.
That's a tough break for the 48. I mean, his last top 5 was all the way back in Coda in March. He has not had a top 5
Bowman
since returning
spins
from
out,
injury.
and we got another
He was
wreck.
in position today to get one. Let's see what happens.
Has Hamlin got in the back of him?
Looks like he's chasing the back of the car and just loses it. Denny's giving him some time, trying to allow him to gather the car up, and you can see Denny's allowing other cars to get underneath him. So 11 checks up, trying to help the 48, but I don't know if there was an issue, a flat tire, whatever was going on there, but the 48 goes in the corner and loses it.
Yeah, I mean, he never.
Do you
just
remember
lost
what
it.
Martin Truex Jr. said when the late caution came out, when his teammate spun? He said there needs to be a company policy. Teammates shouldn't spin when we're out front.
The 48 sideways. I just was making sure we didn't have contact there.
Man,
But
he don't. The 11 never touched
usually
him.
we've heard that these cars don't get too affected by
The 11
cars
never
being
touched
right
him.
behind them, but
He just
certainly the
48 just
loses
spun
a bit of
out.
traction.
Bowman on the radio said Denny wrecked him.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will look at that. I mean, there's no contact, so.
By the way, I'm pretty sure he just got loose. By the way. Yeah, they're showing on TV. You were 6 inches on this bumper.
Yeah, what happens from the seat is that you feel like you're under control. You know somebody's right underneath you. Then all of a sudden the thing turns around, and you're like, "There's no way wasn't contacted. There's no way
He was never.
so quickly."
I mean,
So Alex
11 never
believes
touched
that
him.
there's contact here because it just got away from him so rapidly, and he just can't believe it didn't happen without it because somebody hit him. But we clearly could see that there was no contact.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
there
why I
was
like it in
no
real time.
contact
Because
at all,
the
yeah.
slow-mo, you could kind of break it down. But you just heard both drivers have a very, an opinion on what happened, and they don't honestly know, right? If Bowman thinks that the 11 wrecked him, I'm confident to say there was gap the whole time. And Denny was even like, I'm pretty sure he was loose. I didn't feel like I touched him. I mean, it happened so fast.
Yeah. It
These two
happened so
drivers
fast, man.
have had, an interesting couple of last races. We go back to the streets of Chicago where Denny got into the back of Bowman there in turn 11. That was right in front of you there, Jeff. And Bowman created a little bit of an obstacle there in that turn. And then Atlanta, where you see Bowman coming up, and he tags the 11 here. Car getting loose on him. So the last few races, the 48 and 11, have been awfully close to each other when there has been an incident.
Yeah, this is really frustrating for Alex Bowman. You mentioned it earlier, but since he's come back from injury, there's not been rhythm. There's not been consistency of race finishes, consistency of speed, and he's spoken openly about it. We've got to be better. And then on a day where it looks like he's going to get a good finish, loses the car all by himself. And things like this, Junior, we've been through it, are crushing to your confidence. They make you think, what's wrong? Why can't I get this thing done? And it is tough to overcome, but you just got to keep fighting.
Yeah, it is tough to overcome. It can last for a really long time, and you just want to go to the next race and hope that you get that top 10 or that top 5 finish, and something to break that cycle.
All right, Kim, you've been there bunkered down with the 5 team pretty much the whole race. What are you thinking about the finish of this one?
I don't know, we're going to have to wait and see, but you heard the confidence from crew chief Cliff Daniels on what his driver can do. We saw what Kyle could do on the restart. His crew chief telling him, just do what you did again and again. There might be more restarts, and with that, they've told Kyle to save fuel. He was the first one on pit road during green flag stops last time. 120. They feel good about their fuel situation, but if we see a flurry of green and white checkers at the end here, they are close to being out on fuel, Marty.
Kim Martin Truex Jr. trying for his 3rd Pocono win and his 4th win of 2023. Now the big question for the 19 team is lane selection. Long conversation a moment ago. James Small asked Truex, can we trust the 45 or the 4 to push us? Thinking maybe going a different direction than his teammate Denny Hamlin, or Hamlin will select something different behind him. And then they said,
9 to go.
Martin, we're leaving it up to you. This is all on you. Your call on what lane you want to pick.
We're gonna less of that on the restart.
I wouldn't trust the 45 or Reddick because of the new tires he has.
Parker.
And guys, I just want to chime in on Tyler Reddick, who at lap 138, when he pitted under green for 4 tires, I thought he was finished. He went outside the top 15, but now lining up in the top 5 with the newest tires of anyone in the top 5, it shows what I know. I think he's got a great shot and has the speed. And
Tyler Reddick has 4 tires, man.
So the 11 and the 48 are having a little difference of opinion. And next weekend, we're at a short track for the Cup Series, Road America for the Xfinity
Reddick,
Series.
man,
Road America
45 car, man, he's in a good spot, man.
2:30 and 3 o'clock for the Xfinity Series. That's on NBC and Peacock. And the reason I brought up the 11 and 48, I'm going to put the odds right now at even that the 11 and 48 will start the race side by side.
At Richmond?
At Richmond. When they have a difference, it seems like they are right next to each other.
Every time you're in a disagreement with somebody, you end up being in the same truck during driver's intro.
All right, so we're gonna have about 7 laps left.
You hate it.
And we go back to green.
All right, I'm gonna put you all on the spot here, guys. I want to know. They left it up to Truex. Truex lined up on the outside behind Larson, pushed his way to second without a problem. Are you front row? Well, or are you second on the outside?
We're about to find out.
Yeah. I'm going to give you an answer. You're going to get it right here.
Front row. I'm going front row.
Yeah, the 19 looks like he's going low, but if he goes low, then he goes high, maybe? I don't know. Yep. That was the challenge, right? Is if Truex takes the top, then he goes to the front row.
I mean, they have like 7 laps left,
right? And the best Truex
once this restart happens.
Second place, right? Coming off turn 2. He wants a shot at trying to beat this 5 car squared up here.
The danger in picking the bottom is that Tyler Reddick is lining up behind you. You know how aggressive he is. He's got a little newer tire that may allow him to launch a little better, get some momentum on Truex, and then make it 3 wide getting into the corner. When you're on the outside,
this is gonna be
it's
interesting.
easier to protect someone trying to get on the outside of you. But if you're Truex, the pathway to winning is on the inside line because now you're beside Larson. And you just heard Chris Gabehart, the crew chief of the 11 car, say clean air is king. So when you start on the bottom, Marty,
It's going to be interesting here in this restart.
Martin's got to try to find a way to get a great launch right here.
Jeff, here's the radio conversation between Martin
Another-
Truex Jr.
another
and his
wreck?
spotter about
I would
going with the
agree.
low line. Listen.
I don't know. You know, if we go bottom 11, goes top, 45 pushes us, we don't get going, we're going to end up third. If we do go top and come out second, I feel like we have a better opportunity to go. But if the 5 makes a mistake and we're on the bottom, we get clear and get out front. So kind of whatever you think.
And Martin Truex Jr.'s answer to that was, we have to stay aggressive. Third buys us nothing. We need a win right here. So that's the aggressive move. In his opinion, Jeff, go with that low line in the front row.
Well, the other thing is he's been able to pass him from behind. Like, you know, you might come out second, but we haven't seen evidence.
So we're gonna have
he has
about
enough
7
speed
laps
to get
left.
by. He said he'd burn up his front tires earlier, so I think this is his shot.
Jeff, you mentioned it too. Tyler Reddick, he could leave the 19 hanging. I mean, if he feels like he has a car that could potentially get up there, instead of push that 19, duck to
We're
the
going to have
inside,
7
try to
laps
pass
left
him
on this
before they
restart.
get to turn 1.
A lot of options.
Pace car off. It'll be 7 laps. A sprint to the finish, and the crowd is loving it here at Pocono.
Here we go.
Push at the outside line. Reddick is not to the back of the 19. The outside line's going to have the speed, the momentum down into turn 1.
Reddick not even close to the back of the 19. The 11 clears him, and now here comes
Oh,
Denny Hamlin to
Hamlin's
the inside
going low.
for the lead through 1.
He runs the 5 wide, almost into the fence.
Up into the wall with the 5, and now the momentum behind them with the 19 of
Hamlin
Martin
takes
Jr.
the lead.
Larson loses the lead.
Hamlin takes the lead.
Crash behind him into the tunnel turn, a big wreck.
Oh, wreck.
Hard lick.
Oh, another wreck.
In the 31, and he has turned around a lot of
Another
damage
wreck.
to the driver's side of the 31.
Oh, man. Another
And so the caution
freaking
comes
wreck,
out once
man.
again. Harvick was also up there in the top 3. Great to see the window net come down for Haley.
Another wreck,
Yeah, I saw
man.
him get
Come
turned.
on, man. Why can't we get... Why can't we have 7 laps, man, at green?
Tunnel turn.
I don't think Larson was happy with the way Hamlin raced him, and he just went by the start-finish line.
Yeah, Denny gassed it up in the middle of the corner.
This is right after coming to the yellow.
Yeah,
here.
this is after the yellow. Look at that. Wow. He is angry. So we'd like to see the restart to where we can watch Denny. He, in the middle of the corner, gets position on the 5, then just travels up really. And
Crazy, man.
drives up the
Another
racetrack.
freaking
carries
caution,
the 5
man.
up the racetrack. We saw this before, but it was Ross Chastain on the outside last year. Again, the 5 hard into the wall. Literally almost the same exact scenario. He comes down the racetrack trying to slow Denny down.
Man.
And you don't mind getting run up the racetrack a little bit, but when you get run up the racetrack this much to where now there's contact and it pushes you out of the groove, you have no choice but to lift out of the throttle, and you're still going to hit the wall. So, yeah, I don't blame him. I'd be mad too.
We saw it out of Ross Chastain, or with Ross Chastain last year. Hamlin did the same move, and now you see the frustration
Man, so
from
caution
Larson.
is out again, man.
Running into the side of the 11. Take a look at this wreck, though, for Haley. Already around backwards.
That's the scary impact. Left side driver first into the wall.
And it's Haley into the wall, and it's going to bring out the
And
caution.
thankfully, he hit earlier in the turn than at the exit of turn 2.
So
He
we're
was
probably going to have
riding
a
the wall through turn 2.
probably going to have a green-white
But a lot of
checker
damage
probably.
and heavy contact for the 31 of Haley. So now less than 5 laps to go. And
damn.
We mentioned Ross and Denny, and you're going to say deja vu because take a look at how this one ended up.
I mean, it's crazy. It's just, this is going to be it's probably going to be a green-white checker, huh? Man.
It ended Ross Chastain's day, and this was just moments ago.
Denny said it worked last year. Let's do it again.
Man.
Yeah, they get together and up the racetrack. Denny and him both now are out of the gas. Big Run's coming behind them. They're going to both drive down the racetrack to try to block that run. But the 5 nose got used up a little bit there. He's frustrated and mad about it.
Yeah, a lot of speed scrubbed off of the 5 after he hit the wall. Allowed the 4 to get by. And then this was, again, under caution. The 5 comes over. Bumps into the side of the 11.
And the 5 was not happy with the 11 at all.
Harvick's vantage point.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of Hamlin kind of rode 5 up there at the wall.
So let's listen in to the radio, and we're going to start with the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
I know he's your buddy and all, but good grief, man. Have we seen the stuff he does to people? He's got a lane. There was more than a lane. His choice is staying in. Well, we didn't say a word on our radio, but wait till you hear they talk on their radio. I'll just leave it at that.
And that's why this place is sold out.
Yes.
I mean, right? I mean,
got 5 laps left. Well, 4 laps left.
Be a good crowd too.
Yes.
So we're gonna have a green-white checker, right?
As I mentioned, the 48s.
Oh no, we're not gonna know. We're gonna have 3 to go.
Well, the 5 might line up right there as well.
Trick's gonna
It's not gonna be a green-white checker. We're actually gonna have 3 laps to go.
Harvick in that outside
That's good
groove.
news.
And Larson probably still fuming over that last restart. Going to take the inside behind Trix.
That's good news.
And Kevin Harvick looking for a win in his final season. So let's talk to crew chief Rodney Childers. How are you guys feeling about your chances here in these last laps at Pocono?
Yeah, we've had a great race car all weekend long, and kind of made a bad call there at the beginning and put us in a bad spot. It seemed like people didn't do what I thought they were going to do, but overall everybody's done a good job of fighting back and putting us in a position here. We'll just have to see how this restart goes. Our car hasn't went very good on every restart, but it's been a little bit better on scuffed tires, so hopefully we can hang in there.
With it being Kevin's last season, what would a win mean for this team?
Well, it would mean everything, just to get a win with him in his last season, but also lock us into those playoffs and make it where we can just go race these next few.
All right, we'll see what Kevin Harvick can do on this restart.
All right.
Thanks, Kim.
3 laps left. We're gonna
make
have.
sure you join me. NBC Sports on
Gonna have
Sirius
3 laps
XM
left.
on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern. I will join the Morning Drive. That's NASCAR Radio Channel 90, NBC Sports on Sirius XM, and I know what we're going to be talking about.
We're gonna have 3 laps
for
left.
the restart.
Yeah, so I
Hamlin,
have to wonder how
Harvick,
much
Truex,
damage there is to
Larson,
Larson's
top
car.
4.
Will his car be able to take off here? Think about this. His restarts are aggressive 4 times a day. They haven't made a lap after a restart before caution was having to be thrown. The aggression level is
We're gonna have 3 to go. Hopefully we get all 3 of these laps run without any problems.
That was Cliff Daniels, crew chief for the 5 of Larson. Let's see if he does something.
Here we go.
Now up front, Hamlin has Harvick behind him. Martin Truex Jr. on the inside. Joe Gibbs Racing side by side.
That inside line just fails to connect every single restart.
Man, did Hamlin get it?
Side drafting hard. Here comes the 45 to the inside.
Hamlin got the lead.
Couldn't get to the 19, and now Reddick drops back to 4th. And 2 car links.
It's Hamlin and Truex.
From Martin Truex Jr. They're 1 and 2, under 3 laps to go.
Larson on the bottom. Wonder if his car's not driving well, falling back.
Larson's going back to 9. Damn.
Denny Hamlin, a 6-time winner at Pocono, looking for number 7. Martin Truex Jr. won a week ago, and New Hampshire looking to go back to back.
So 3 to go.
Toyota running top 2 right now, looking for their 600th win in NASCAR's top 3 series.
2 to go.
Trying to take third place. Reddick to the inside of Harvick down here in turn 1 and 2. Not going to get cleared. Nose to nose off in the corner. Harvick backs off. Reddick with the newer tires clears into third place.
Reddick on the move, up to 3rd. Now they fan out. The top 7 nose to tail.
Hamlin has a half a second
Eric
lead.
Jones trying to stick the nose
over
out of the 43, seeing if he can get another spot. See Chase Elliott just behind him.
Truex not able to close the gap. Oh, there's a
Oh, there's a wreck. Oh, there's a wreck. Oh.
Slight contact. No, he's not going to make contact with the inside wall, and no caution.
No caution. No caution,
to
though.
the inside for second.
No caution.
It's 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank.
No caution, though.
Drag race down the front straightaway for second place between Reddick and Truex. The 41 still sitting there, not refired.
Now he gets going. Trying to get going.
Man.
You see the flames coming out of the exhaust of the 41.
The last lap.
They need to throw a caution right here.
The caution does come
caution's out.
That will put Denny Hamlin in victory lane.
Hamlin wins. Caution's out.
60.
The 41 can't get restarted.
Not happy.
That's the right thing to do. That is 100% the right thing to do. You cannot let those cars go by him sitting in the racetrack like that.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. I agree with Little Lee.
I don't believe that's what they're booing.
Way to go, guys.
Man.
I don't think that's what they're booing, buddy.
Well, I hope not.
No. I mean, that
Sucks
was the
a wreck
right
happened, man, but I mean.
There, somebody gets turned around, coming out of that tunnel turn. You can hear the fans frustrated.
Win 50 comes at the blues of Pocono fans.
So Denny Hamlin gets the win, followed by Truex.
Maybe not so happy.
And Reddick,
Denny
Harvick.
Hamlin ended up winning this race.
There's your top 4. Then Gibbs got in the top 5.
50 wins for Denny Hamlin. 600 wins for Toyota.
Man.
Ty Gibbs coming by to congratulate him. The 42-year-old from Chesterfield, Virginia.
Freaking 41 had to screw everything, man. Spun out, man.
He has
Fuck,
been to
man.
victory lane at
We had to have a goddamn wreck on the last lap, right?
And you mentioned it when he comes
Unreal.
back around.
There's Joe Gibbs.
So Joe Gibbs Racing goes back to back. Mark Truex Jr.
And Joe Gibbs was a Hall of Fame football coach. I think he's gonna be a Hall of Fame
checkered flag
car owner.
moment brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts, and we'll see just how loud the crowd gets now with Denny back on the front stretch.
Yeah. So Denny Hamlin gets the W.
I believe a bottle even just came from the grandstands. Not happy about that. That's not the way.
Sucks a race had to end like that, but it happens, man. Yeah, it sucks a race. The race had to end like that on a wreck. Then the caution comes out, but
the team is happy.
Happens,
Denny
man.
is happy. The crowd might not be.
So Denny Hamlin gets the win. He gets the W. He gets the win. Yeah, all right, man. I am gonna go try to get something to eat. I know Remy's hungry. I know he's it's past his feeding time.
Like that distance from the grandstand.
And I know it's past his feeding time. So but I'm gonna go feed Remy and all that kind of stuff and feed myself. So I'll be live tomorrow, probably for the Orioles and the Phillies. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.